Tonight, we catch up with this week's flight sim news, take an extensive preview of the creator of World's Diamond DA42, and another Boeing Stearman, this one from Golden Age Simulations. Hello. Everybody, happy Wednesday, the middle of the week, the halftime show, the let's get over the hump day. It's time for the news, man, and I hope you're all keeping very well. It's cold in places, snow on the ground, things falling out of the sky. Right, you know, it's like -5 or something, right? -5. Jesus, we're not built for that. Well, we're not built for the warm either. It's somewhere in between the middle. So tonight, we're a fairly busy one. We're going to catch up with all the news making the headlines this week in our beloved flight simulation hobby. And we get to check out this thing. An extensive preview of an upcoming aircraft brought to us by cows. Creator of worlds. And it's based on a Diamond DA42. Very fancy looking thing, this. And well, we're going to have it's a preview. Let's see what the developers are currently working at. Tommy is here in the chat. Sure, how are you? He has to step out for a few moments, but that's okay. We'll still be here. We're going to start off with the news. Then at around the top of the hour, we'll start having a look at this thing, right? Then a little bit later on, we're checking out another Boeing PT Stearman into the sim, released a couple of days ago. A very interesting way to buy it. In actual fact, if it wasn't for Vasco over at msfsaddons.com, I don't think we'd even have it, because he provided us a link, because it's not on the store. But anyway, that's kind of the stab of it now, do you know? What's the weather doing in your locale? Is it nice? Is it cold? Just let us know. No camera movements or anything mad tonight, lads. No. Fixed things I did. Yes. Roared myself to sleep on Monday. Now, into the chat we shall ramble and say hello to everybody. Colonel Fork is here, subscribing at a tier 3 for 42 months, man. 42 months with the hokey. Colonel Fork, thank you very, very much indeed. 42 months. Like, I can't say at this stage he'd be sick of me. He is. He's still sick of me, but he keeps coming back. I don't know why. Thank you very much indeed, man. Right, who else is here? Mr. Tommy is in the house. Good to see you, my guy. You're very welcome in. We'll be gentle, right? We'll take good care of it, right? We'll give it a shot. But yes, Rambok Mort is here. Good to see you. Night Zepp rambles in. Ozzy Mandius is here, along with Tarnish Moss Man. Hump Day is here, dude. It is. It arrived. Ryan JN89 has subscribed. Jesus, what was that? Did you hear that? Was that a bang? I heard a bang. Maybe it was just... Did you feel it too? Right, Jesus. I don't know what it was, lads. But anyway, Ryan, thank you very, very much indeed for the continued support. You absolute ledge. Now, where was I? I was over here, look. And then yes. Super Typhon. AJH, man. Hope you're well. Vacuum is here. The Limbics rambles in. He says, morning, Fireflies. Doing the work lurk. Yeah, I hope you're keeping very well. It's great to see you at this time of the day. Did you have breakfast even? Oh wait, is it your evening? Oh, it's your morning. Did you have breakfast yet? What's for breakfast? Tell us. What do you have in New Zealand for breakfast? It's important. But yes, Catbat9 is in the house. Catus Battus, good to see you, my guy. Hope you're keeping very well. Viper Strike is here. Welcome aboard. Let me see. Toto! Cranking up the Toto. Happy Wednesday to you. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, hope you're well, man. Oh Jesus! Where was I? I was up here somewhere. I just multiple conversations, lads. It's all grand. SK Sun, welcome aboard. Scorpio 49, you're very welcome in, Scorpio. I hope you're sitting by the fireplace, perhaps a brandy in one hand and a newspaper in the other, and you're wearing your old day slippers with the cling film on them. Reasons for which escape you, but you're comfortable. Now, we're over here. Black Ice Gabe, we have a Black Ice Gabe. Gabe, it's good to see you, man. Happy Wednesday. Spitfire, RAF, 100. It's great to see everyone. The Polar Bear is here. Eamon, 1973. It could be a busy night. Indeed. Lee Dixon, good to see you. Ailerons into wind. The Him. The Him is here, but he's over there on YouTube. He says, awesome to see this lady finally released. She's not out yet, but it's getting there. Now, we're over here, look. Stick Figure, good to see you, man. Now, Flying for Fun says good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too. Casey Wingboy, thank you very much indeed for the tier 1 subscription. Very kind of you. You're welcome aboard. Welcome to the club. Yes, that's right. We have this kind of top secret handshake that involves no body parts. You just kind of stand there looking at the other person. deep down, they know. You just kind of have to look at them awkwardly. Do know, right? Brilliant. But yes, thank you very much indeed. Now, where are we? Cold feet, warm hands. Another great night ahead. So pleased. Well, you're very welcome in. Vince C is here. Good to see you. Hemming Bird rambles in. My friend came to me today saying she identifies as a beach. I asked her, are you sure? Happy home day. Brilliant. That's very, very good, Hemming Bird. Aileron says the team behind her has been full of pilots who fly it all the time. One of the best feeling twin aircraft on the sim without question, says Ailerons. Ooh, now we're going to check it out. We'll give it the Murph evaluation and hopefully I won't break it. Gabe says, I'm watching tonight all the way from Turkey. Now I can't stop long, but you should miss me if I didn't make an appearance. What's it like in Turkey, Gabe? Jesus, that's far away. No Wondies McGee is here, good to see you. Gibbo Ireland is in the chat. How are you, Gibbo? Now come here to me, right? Right? Straight away, Gibbo, I fixed the visuals. This little frame, this little area that I live in, Gibbo built this, you know, out of brawn and iron. Some say he built it while standing in the nip. We don't know. All we know is he's a genius and he can make things and it's fantastic. So I hope you're keeping well, man. He's been flat out the last few days. I give him bread and water the odd time. Do you know, like, sometimes I say, Gibbo, I have a great idea, when really it was his idea, and then I feed it back to him. One of these days, he will just beat me. But it's all as well. I'm preparing for it. Do you know? I'm just waiting for the... Sorry, Gibbo. I hope you're well, dude. Hope you're well. Now, where are we? Vasco from MSFS Add-ons is in the chat. Very happy Wednesday to you, Vasco. Hope you're well, man. Then KC Wingboy with the cheer. 245 bits, as if it was confetti. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. Really do appreciate it. Whaley Jutani is here. Kozaki Flyer, welcome aboard. Murph, on a snowy day, a smile is beyond price. Jeez, brilliant. Now, Noel K, good to see you. Anna Crussus is here, and hello and welcome to everyone watching us on YouTube and also here on Twitch as well. You're very welcome. We have a multi-platform audience. Right? Brilliant, isn't it? Multi-platform Orium for our simulation. I used to write the scripts for Bush. But anyway, John Ray's good to see you. He says, evening all, humpity hump. We know exactly what you mean. Now, I'm over here, look. I just know it. A DA62 mod makes that airplane. Wait, what? A mod, he says. Jeppesen 2001. The man, the myth, the legend has rumbled into the chat. Welcome in, Jeppesen. Hope you're well, man. Now, let me see. We're catching up here. Old Veteran 965. Happy hump day. Hope you're well, man. Soaring AJ. AJH. How's she cutting? Now, Energizer. He says, evening all. Anyone fancy taking our minus 19 degrees? I don't feel bad now at -5. Minus 19 is ridiculous. Right? Brilliant. Minus 19. No, I couldn't deal with that now. Jesus, no. Are you mad? Epic Fool is here. Evening. Good to see you, Epic. How's she cutting, man? Oh, Epic, I have your bit of information as well. Right? See? Remind me, though, because it's on a different screen. Just say, Murph, do you remember the thing? The thing, Murph. I don't know what it is, right? Right, now, Muse Fan is here. Bursts in the door saying, how he is, yous mad jokes, yous. Happy hump day. Good to see you, Muse. What's the weather doing up in RD High? Have you snow? I reckon you have snow. I hope you've been studying the manual on this, Murph. Yeah! I practically read it twice. We'll find out. There's no cow level, though. Cow level, yeah, that'll do. Robski, good to see you, Rob. Goblin Zeus, good evening. Lenny Brooks says, let's see if I can catch a Sim News stream without buying anything. Oh, hard going. Goblin Zeus says, rain and 15 degrees here this afternoon. Not too bad. Sean Dale says, real feel -8 in Duxford. Jesus. Robic says, in Italy, it's -7. What? It's colder than a snowman's frosty bits. Says Two Cats. Two Cats, how are you? Good to see you, man. Stockholm Syndrome, right? Now, where are we at? Gaseous Maximus says, wind chill -7. Jesus. Wombat is here. Good to see you, Wombat. Hide the wallet. You don't want to... Shh. Just put it away. Just tuck it into the couch. Put it into that hiding place that you couldn't find the last time. It's good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Now, where are we at? We're up here somewhere. Seriously weird purchase method for the Stearman, but it's a PayPal link, so it should be all good. Yeah, we hope. Shadow Bracken, good to see you. My most favourite aeroplane, looking forward to this one. Yes, we'll be checking it out here now shortly. Now, thank you for the follow. Who be this? Drummond Dunn, welcome in, great name. No, wait. Durham Dunn. There we go, I got it right the second time. I can do English. Durham. You're welcome in. What did your man do to his hair? Whose hair? My hair? What's wrong with my hair? Don't start that now. We had enough of that mess in there last year, right? Right, now, where are we at? Robert J56 is here, good to see you. Martel, welcome in. Husker Do, good to see you, man. Now, let me see. Dennis, welcome in, Dennis. He says, hey, everyone, let's go flying. Good to see you, man. Nutty Slack is here. Happy Wednesday. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce, and a Wolfie. It's good to see you. Hope all is well. Let me see. Alrock, welcome aboard. Now, Murph, I sent you a new one. You didn't update it. What? Did I? Oh, I did with this. Wait, why is that turned off? I did update. Oh, hang on. Let's not do it now. I might do it in a while. It's loaded. It's not active. Big Egypt, Murphy. Yes, Gibbo, I'll get on that straight away. I need just be grand, right? Be grand. I learned my lesson the last time. Have I missed anything? No, you haven't. Are we going to see cows? Yes, Sard. Lots of cows. Indeed. Sunjammer, good to see you. I also have a DA42 mod, yes, and I think that's what you meant. Very good. Awash says, I want a DA42, but I can't afford a real one. So I'll have to buy this one when it comes out. I like that thinking. Brilliant. We got about 20 centimetres of snow today, says Zard. Jesus. I am indeed a talking snow globe. Brilliant. Right, now, where was I? I was up here. Filthy says, always excited for Newsday and to see what add-ons are going to assault my bank account. Brilliant. Caesar, good to see you. Hola, indeed. -5, says MuseFan. It's the same as I hear. Canoehead 2 is here. Barely. I've been on the wrong side of good health for the last 2 weeks. Oh, hang on in there, you poor old devil. God love you. Plenty of vitamin C or something. Hummingbird says, -1. Time to get the t-shirts out. Sun cream, very important. Oh, Jesus, yeah. NVIDIA driver update, says Tarnish. Let us know how you get on, will you? Go on, you're sound. You're brilliant. Tarnish is going to test it for us, lads. It's brilliant. It's only -5 in Canada. Sheesh. Warmer than most of Canada so far. That's crazy. Now, let me see. 20 centimetres of snow right now in Vancouver. What did we do to deserve this? Living up north, up that way. But yes, is your poor Skoda staying warm? Don't let it freeze. Listen. The Skoda, lads, is grand. Totally fine. However, it does make this kind of a weird humming noise while it's driving, right? Now, it's the sort of it only happens when you're accelerating. And it sounds like a pump. But it only happens in the cold, right? And it's this sort of a... it's more like a... Yeah, that's more like it. It's more like the second one there. Yeah. That was more kind of... That sort of sound as you try to drive. But it drives, loads of power. Brilliant. No issue at all, I'll keep driving it so you don't need to worry about it. Where's the sunshine going off my beautiful plane, look? But yes, it's totally fine. I'll worry about it. -8, Jesus. -4 in County Meath. Beat the hokey. Soaring AJ has subscribed with tier 3, look. Beat the shit. Thank you very, very much indeed, Soaring AJ. What's your favourite humming noise? I'll never forget what my father used to say. He used to say, son, always... Yeah. Oh, no, wait. No, he didn't. No. Never. You should never. Oh, no, wait. Was it all? Who wants his father dead? See, I'm picking up on the things. Usually they go over my head at about 100 miles an hour. But yes, Skoda is staying warm because it's currently on fire. What? Jesus. I'll take one for the team. Yes, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Awash says, Murph, here in Calhoun, it's 32 degrees. That's okay. That's quite okay. It'll be fine. Totally fine. Once it's not in the minus figures, Awash, it'll be grand. Do you know what I mean? Your favourite humming noise. Do you remember that song by the Crash Test Dubbies? Do you remember it? It was actually called You think I'm messing? Type it into the Google. Crash Test Dummies space 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 right? Wands. That was a great song. But anyway, where were we? This morning it was 12 degrees. We said, Jesus, lads. Did you add the new mods alert then, Murph? No, shag off. They're not getting near the house. You want to see what I'm not even going to show you what they did. I won't even show you. But like, put it this way. When I saw it, I was like, Jesus. And then the two of them, both Gibbo and Muse, were like, go on, Murph. We think they're brilliant. They were shocking. The complaints will be coming in until tomorrow if we showed them off. Chicken, yeah, I don't care. I don't care. It's the worst thing in the world. And it's bad enough that I've been associated to that facial person that isn't me at all. Right? I'm going to do a complete and utter friggin' style change. I'm going to grow me hair and cut me toenails and maybe, wear an eye patch. Right? No, we're not doing that. One channel point and it's grand. No one is McGee. Yeah, that's the one. It was a great song. Great song. Right, now, before things go completely out of control and, it turns into one of those nights, why doesn't the taskbar move when I want it to move? Do you ever notice that? Strange. But anyway, we shall pause the simulator.
Give yourself to the dark side.
No, don't do it, old veteran. Don't do it. But thank you for the bits. Right. Gibbo. This is disgraceful. I have to show you this now because I'm after mentioning the shagging thing publicly. Oh. Hang on. I can't even show you that. Oh, wait, I can download it. Hang on, I'll download it. Can't believe this is going to happen. We'll play it in VLC, sure, why not? This is desperate. Right, you got the beep in there, right? It's kind of half good. So look at this big Jesus. Listen, you don't know. I can't believe I'm playing this. I can't believe I'm allowing this to happen and it's all Gibbo's fault. Seemingly, make that full screen. Seemingly, Gibbo thinks I look like this fella and he should say, Murph, this should be just a special alert for us mods. In which I replied with an exhausted expression of, no. Right, watch.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Right, now I just want to say for clarity, I look nothing like Paddy, right? We've had this discussion before. I have facial hair, right? And me glasses are nicer, right? And I've a full head of hair, right? Can't believe it, lads. That's after going down now very well, hasn't it? Right? Jesus. We'll play it again for good luck. Shower of...
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Words can't describe the utter feeling of, upsetness and devastation. Devastation, yes. We'll go with devastation. Right, anyway, get a good long hard laugh. Get it out of your system now, lads. Get a good long hard laugh out of that. Spitting image. What? No, it's not.
Something on the way. Something.
Alrighty then. They're aiming for... It looks nothing like me, right? That's what I thought he was going to do. What? Was that Murph without hair? What? No, it wasn't! See what you did? Just see what you did. Anyway, show the other one, Murph, the edited version. Is that your dad? Jesus. What? Nothing like him. Thanks, Tom Newton. You're back in the will. Tom, I've always said it's great eye for catching the details, Tom. Great eye for catching the details, right? But you have the same size head as Dara O'Brien. Thank you, Sunjammer. Have you measured the head of Dara O'Brien? Have you... Dara, sorry, just show me this. Measuring tape out. Just put your head forward. Right? Oh, ample size cranium. Anyway, let's move on to the news before I offend someone else. Black Square. Ooh. The Duke and Turbine Duke are set for March launch with unprecedented systems modelling. Ooh, this is important. So, Black Square, their last aircraft released, of course, was the TBM 850. And we've known about the Duke's development for a little bit of time. And, well, it looks to be progressing very, very nicely indeed. The Microsoft Flight Sim community is about to witness another groundbreaking release from Black Square, a name now synonymous with innovative and highly realistic aircraft add-ons. Following the success of the TBM 850 and their renowned analog cockpit conversions, Black Square is gearing up to launch their highly anticipated Duke and Turbine Duke for Microsoft Flight Sim in March. Ooh. Black Square developer Nick explains in this latest update, a pivotal decision was made to prioritise the Duke's development during the holiday season. This decision has resulted in an array of innovative features some of which are touted as firsts in flight simulation history. What? Let's dive in. So, we have a new in-cockpit EFB with some advanced systems monitoring. They're going to introduce a revolutionary in-cockpit EFB tablet with the Dukes. Initially conceived as a replacement for the weather radar interface, this tablet has evolved into the most complete interface yet for monitoring aircraft systems within the sim. This is huge news. Look at this. Let us just reflect on this. Look at the detail. Clear cylinders, clean plugs, repair the starter, recharge the battery. What? Incredible stuff. Look at the active failures. When do you want the failure to activate? This looks very, very impressive, I gotta say. This EFB will offer a spectacular array of functionality. Besides common options like configuration and payload along with fuel management, simmers will see detailed visualizations of the piston and turbine engines, a live electrical schematic, an insightful cabin environment system visualizer, and failure options. Underpinning these innovative features is Black Square's commitment to aviation education. The developer aims to demystify the complexities of general aviation aircraft systems for both the seasoned and novice simulator pilots by offering real-time graphical representations of the intricate mechanisms. This is pretty cool, right? Deep dive into realism. The Duke will be a testament to Black Square's philosophy of unapologetically realistic. But the new feature reciprocating engine simulation, revolutionising engine startup, propeller feathering, and incorporating advanced simulations of fouling, vapor lock, flooding, backfire, and turbocharging. For example, the crankshaft operation will be intricately simulated, influenced by cylinder compression, fuel ignition, propeller drag, and overall engine friction. This is impressive. Propeller feathering will be meticulously modelled, driven by engine oil pressure and visual tracking of oil flow into the propeller hub. This is like nuts. Collaboration with Boris Audio Works. So we know the Boris Sound Studios, some of, if not the best in the business. The aircraft we're checking out tonight works with Boris as well for their sounds, and you can absolutely tell the difference. But they're saying here it's going to play a key role in enhancing the immersive experience of the Black Square Dukes. That's pretty awesome, right? It's also going to have the Bendix King, the KLN 90 GPS supported. It'll come with an impressive array of avionics. Most interesting is a Bendix King KLN 90 GPS. That's from the Falcon 71. The classic high fidelity GPS device available for integration by aircraft developers will make the Dukes the first to integrate this equipment. Alongside that, they're going to have support for the PMS 50 and the TDS GTN 750s gadget. A first for Black Square, allowing for a total of 12 hot swappable avionic combinations. Is it an A2A-like approach to aircraft development? Well, it's not hard to draw comparisons between Black Square's realism efforts and the pioneering spirit of A2A simulations. Like A2A, Black Square is pushing the boundaries of flight simulation, not only in technical prowess, but also in educational value. The intricate system visualizers that'll come with the Duke, along with the realistic engine simulations, provide a platform for pilots to gain a deeper understanding of aircraft's mechanics, mirroring that of A2A's work on the Comanche, which includes a fascinating engine analyzer. March release is in the plan. They're aiming to release both aircraft in March, if all going well, and they'll be released simultaneously, either separately or as a discounted bundle. The wait won't be long. In the meantime, Black Square and Just Flight are going to be publishing a series of videos, and all going well, we'll hopefully get to show you a look at this aircraft coming soon. What do you think? It looks very impressive, lads. Doesn't it look very impressive? I'm loving the tablet. Loving that. It's like, now you can see what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Kingsman, good to see you. The Ripper, welcome in. Do you know if the Duke is planned to come to Xbox? I'm unsure, The Ripper. Black Square have always kind of struggled getting the stuff onto Xbox. It's just how they build their aircraft. But I'll find out. We'll ask the question. No price range. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say $40, 30 to $40, somewhere in and around there. I could be wrong. The tablet looks pretty fancy. Yeah, it's pretty nice, isn't it? Beautiful. That's already sold the plane for me, is the tablet. Yeah, that's impressive now. To be fair, that's impressive. That's up there with like the FS Reborn stuff. It's a simple layout, easy to follow, but like the amount of information on the screen. And Vasco is right. I mean, it's very reminiscent of the A2A engine visualizer. I love that. Developers inspire other developers. Do you know what I mean? It's great. And we, as the potential customers, sure, we win, you know. Right, moving on, lads. News here from India Fox Echo's update when it comes to the Tornado. India Fox Echo, they were flat out busy. They've been working with Heat Blur, getting the F-14 released into the sim, and I think we all agree the F-14 is probably the best military aircraft we have in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, it derives from the DCS version, which is just absolutely incredible. India Fox Echo, well, they're not resting on their laurels. They're working hard on their Tornado project. So they've experienced some delays due to the extensive effort working on the Tomcat, but now the latest development update offers a glimpse into the progress on the meticulous attention to detail being applied to this iconic European fighter. As usual, India Fox Echo detailed the current status of the project, talking about the external model. They reckon it's about 99% complete. The cockpit model is pretty much done. The first pass of the flight model is in place, allowing feedback now from their alpha teams. The systems, basic flight systems and instruments are operational. However, the team is working on refining special functions and adding in some navigation functions. Real-world aircraft sounds have been collected. The next step is to involve these and mixing them in and incorporating cockpit specific audio. While the project has faced delays, the current estimate suggests that a beta build could be ready before the end of the month. The final product might even be available by the end of February. However, this timeline is tentative, as India Fox Echo prioritises quality and completeness over rushed releases. Now, this is interesting because we know that, well, Just Flight are also working on a Tornado. These are slightly different, I think. One is a GR3, one's a GR4. I could be wrong on that. But I have to say, it looks very nice. The Tornado, it's a multi-role aircraft renowned for its versatility and performance. It holds a special place in aviation history, especially for the German, Italian and the UK Air Forces. If any of you guys have watched the Ewan McGregor documentaries, be it on the Battle of Britain or Bomber Command, Ewan's brother flew a Tornado. He actually flew one of these aircraft. I mean, what a riot, do you know? So, yes, we're waiting on more updates from India Fox Echo. They're going to be working on the IDS GR1 and ECR models. Despite requests for an F3, the team has decided not to include it in the initial release due to the structural differences and less documentation compared to other variants. What do you think of this? I mean, a Tornado is gorgeous looking, isn't it? I mean, they're a stunning looking airplane. I remember these things at air shows in Baldonnel all the time. You'd hear them, well, naturally you'd hear them before you see them, but like the roar and rumble of the ground when the Tornadoes are coming in, just incredible. Just incredible. They did Kingsman, yeah, they were huge. Hey, Zybok is here. Good to see you, man. Calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. I hope you're well. Larger Life, good to see you, man. Welcome aboard. Jojo1 came into the chat. How are you, Jojo? The further development of Black Square is impressive. Really is, man. Tornado, lads. Huge news. Now, in other news, SimWorks Studios, well, they're back to work on the Van's RV8 and a GA8 Air Van for Microsoft Flight Sim. SimWorks Studios, or SWS as we know them, recently celebrated the release of their awesome PC-12, an aircraft that was very well received by the community. Despite this milestone, the team isn't resting on their laurels and already planning their next projects, which are set to be the Van's RV8 and the GA8 Air Van. Both have been announced previously and are now receiving the attention they deserve, leading towards their eventual completion. SimWorks Studios is no stranger to creating Van's aircraft. The RV10 and RV14 have been available for some time. The team is now adding an RV8 to the lineup. According to the latest development from SWS, the visuals for the RV8 are now complete, and the team are fine-tuning the final aspects of the aircraft's interactive elements and addressing minor bugs to enhance the user interface. Or the user experience. A key feature of the product will be the inclusion of an analog cockpit layout, reflecting the community's interest in traditional avionics. Steam gauge all the way. We like the steam gauge. The glass is grand in real world, but steam gauge, oh yeah. But anyway, for those who prefer a more modern avionics solution, the RV8 will also be equipped with Garmin's G3X touch system. In an effort to ensure authenticity, the flight model of the RV8 is being validated through rigorous testing, including input from an experienced RV8 pilot. This collaboration aims to replicate the real aircraft's behaviour as closely as possible in the simulator. Following these refinements, SimAcoustics will begin their work on the aircraft's audio, focusing on creating a realistic audio experience. Next, the GA8 Airvan. After a period of inactivity since it was first unveiled back in 2022, the model has undergone a comprehensive redesign, likely to bring it up to SWS's increasing standards. The team say the exterior model of the aircraft now complete, and the efforts are now concentrated on developing the cockpit, and the Airvan will be powered by a non-turbocharged Lycoming IO540. It will be available in both commuter and cargo. So it's like a Kodiak squished up against the wall. You know, that way. That's what these look like. Despite the project's extensive redevelopment, significant components such as code, flight model, and engine have been nearly complete for about 2 years. Sound recordings of the Airvan are also already finalised. The studio anticipates a quick assembly and development process once the PC-12 project is fully wrapped up, positioning the GA8 Airvan as the next release following the completion of the ORV8. It's pretty cool updates. Now, we know that SWS, the other projects these guys are working on, we know there's a Kodiak 900. They have their own TBM 850, 910, and even a 960. And there is the Boeing 727-200. The last one being in collaboration with Raoul from FS Reborn. A Boeing 727, an airliner from SWS and FS Reborn. Exciting times ahead, lads. Basically, a 206 only Kodaki. Kinda, yeah, it's a bit like that Super Thai. They used big concrete arrows back in the day to travel across the country. Jesus. When I was stationed in Turkey back in the 90s, the British had tornadoes here for Operation Northern Watch. Ooh, B. Carlo, nice. Murph, if you have the time, we published an hour ago an article about a very cool freeware project that recreates historic US mail routes. Vasco, yeah, if it's there, we'll find it, my dude. We'll find it. There it is. Oh, yeah, we saw about that. Yeah. Good man, Vasco. Live news. That's what it's all about. Right, well, Jesus, where did that go? Oh, I have it there on 2 pages. Right, grand. Yeah, we'll get to that now in a second. Thank you, Vasco. So that's interesting news from SimWorks Studios. Great to see them, flat out, lads, flat out. Kodiak 900, my ears have perked up. Right? Now, Azar Poly brought us the Fuga, the Epsilon, the Transall, some really beautiful aircraft, while they continue work on their OV10 Bronco. It's nearing release. Check out this. Now, we do have a Freeware Bronco in the MIST. We know that. But let's see what Azar Poly can do. They appear to be approaching the final stages of development for the next aircraft in the sim, the OV10 Bronco. Since the previous update in July, Azar Poly have made significant strides in bringing this iconic aircraft to the virtual skies. The latest updates reveal that the Bronco is not only nearing completion, but it's also going to feature some cool and innovative features. Azar Poly have been more open in sharing details about the ongoing progress with the Bronco, and we've learned that 3D modelling, texturing were recently completed. The team is incorporating numerous customization options, including the unique glass dome of the OV10B variant. It's on the back of the plane. This looks pretty cool. Animated antennas that react to relative wind and G-forces. Nice. Fully animated canopy and a custom tyre compression. We saw this on a video there we watched a while ago, but they actually have the tyres modelled so they'll compress. How cool is that? But just have a look at some of these textures here. It looks incredible. And like, to be fair, right, the Freeware Bronco is a lot of fun, and for a Freeware, that thing is as good as most payware. This, however, does look impressive. Look at the shamrock. It'd be interesting to see the price line for this, but I'm excited to see what Azar Poly have done. The Fuga is an absolute masterpiece, I think. The Epsilon was really good as well. The Transall, that's a huge airplane. So Azar Poly, these guys are doing great things over there. So huge news. Entering 2024, the Bronco took a significant leap forward by entering the beta tests. This phase is critical for refining the aircraft to meet Azar Poly's standards. For those seeking a more menacing look, Azar Poly will be offering a weapons manager for non-marketplace versions. Due to the marketplace policies, the version for PC and Xbox users will remain weapons free. But there's always the option to purchase from third-party sources. This is what's pretty cool. Look at this. Look at the detail here, right? Hello there. DeBlaze, hello there. Look at the detail here. Like, I'm kind of losing it because it's like a tire getting, right? But like, that's a level of detail we haven't properly seen yet. That may not load. Look at the freaking detail, lads. That's so cool. That's so cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Sterling, really love the C160. Yes. So, yeah. the Bronco, it's they announced it back in July, and look at it here. I'm just excited to see how this aircraft is going to stack up, considering there's a freeware one out there. Do you know? So excellent news there. Now, here's a bit of news. Historic Convair B-58 Hustler is now in development for Microsoft Flight Sim. Ooh, the early years of the jet age represented one of the most exhilarating and transformative eras in history of aviation. It was also terrifying. During this time, the world witnessed an extraordinary race in aerospace engineering. We checked out the Flame and Pen. What was it called? The Flame and Pencil last week. The Bristol 188. Just mad looking designs, right? Well, it kind of continues on. This race wasn't just about pushing the boundaries of flight, but also as a strategic chess game played on a global scale. Each nation sought technical superiority, leading to the development of groundbreaking aircraft that continually shattered records. Ooh. There are many innovative aircraft designs from the post-World War II era that deserve a digital rendition in Microsoft Flight Sim. Today, we're highlighting the efforts of an independent developer to bring one of those aircraft to life. The Convair B-58 Hustler, the first operational bomber to achieve Mach 2, currently being developed by Airmax 514, who is also working on the incredibly XP70 Valkyrie. Ooh. The developer has shared insights into the development process of the Hustler on the MSFS forums. This model was initially created for FSX, but then later abandoned. With renewed vigour and the advanced capabilities of Microsoft Flight Sim's platform, Airmax aims to enhance the quality and realism of this legendary aircraft. The project's still in its early stages, but the developer has already showcased some impressive features and preview images. The announcement has generated considerable excitement within the community, as evidenced by the positive reactions on the forum. Simmers have expressed admiration for the B-58's clean, futuristic design, and eagerly anticipating the chance to pilot this classic aircraft in the sim. Ooh. So, they plan to use high-resolution 4K textures to ensure the aircraft's visual fidelity while being mindful of the potential impact on performance. Additionally, there's anticipation around how the unique the flight characteristics of the B-58 will be translated into the sim environment. The Convair Hustler, a product of the American aircraft manufacturer Convair, was the first operational bomber capable of Mach 2, marking a significant technical leap in the 1950s. It was powered by 4 General Electric J79 engines, featuring a delta wing design. The B-58 was a symbol of innovation during the Cold War. The project is another example of a creator going his own way to create something he loves and eventually sharing that with the community. I love this. It looks mad, but already, like the early shots that we can see here, looks to be a nice bit of detail going on. Textures, it's early stage, we can't even say what it's about, but it looks to be a fair bit going on, right? I mean, I like that. What do you guys think? What do you think of the aircraft itself? I mean, have you any interest flying these experimental aircraft as they were back in the day? Or is it like, it looks mad, but no. I mean, look at that delta wing. Look at that. You'd burst something with that. It's very sharp. Kind of like the Vulcan, a giant jet fighter plane. Yeah. Copied AV Rose espionage, says Sean Dale. The 698 came first. Ooh. News is like, not my thing, to be fair. Yeah. Interesting stuff, yeah. Looks like an Avro. It does look like an Avro. The B-58 was my dad's favourite bomber jet, says Colonel Fork. No way. The Bronco always reminds me of someone holding out their trousers while walking in water. Ah, brilliant. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Interesting. Right, moving on. Top Mach Studios. There was a bit of chatter on this in our Discord the other day. Top Mach Studios showcasing a B-2 Spirit and also a T-7A Red Hawk in a new teaser image. It's work in progress. So Top Mach Studios, well, we know what the crack are. They brought us the F-22, a model celebrated for its unique flight capabilities in the sim. The team are now poised to continue its focus on military aviation with their upcoming projects, the B-2 and the T-7A. Following their initial announcement, details about these projects have been sparse, with Top Mach Studios maintaining a low profile on their progress. This year, however, marked a change as we received fresh information about the B-2 and the T-7A developments. So, the B-2 Spirit, the first new project announced by Top Mach Studios. The legendary aircraft is well known for its stealth capabilities and highly secretive nature, and has always intrigued aviation enthusiasts. Now, we have a B-2 Spirit in the sim. quick flight. It's actually quite nice. It'd be interesting to see what Top Mach are going to do with this. Early renditions yet. It's not finished. You know, it's looking fairly good. Let's see what they can do with it. Now, the T7 Red Hawk, on the other hand, is shown in a more preliminary status. Top Mach Studios released 2 images that showcase the model in a very raw form without textures, highlighting the intricate detail of the 3D model. This is interesting. It's like a baby F-22 mixed with, like, I don't know, an Alpha Jet or something. That's kind of, you know, that's kind of where it looks. But you can see here from the 3D model scan, well, there's a lot of detail gone into this. It'd be interesting now, like, you could have the best 3D model in the world. If you mess up the textures, it's shagged, do you know? But that's an interesting looking aircraft. Product in collaboration between Boeing and Saab, it's a next-gen jet trainer aircraft designed for the US Air Force. Launched under the TX program, set to replace the aging T-38 Talon. We gotta love the T-38 Talon. The Red Hawk is tailored for advanced pilot training, equipped with modern avionics, a digital glass cockpit, and integrated training systems to prepare pilots for 5th-generation fighters like the F-35. Ooh. What do you think of that? It's interesting, there's no doubt. That's a pretty plane. I kind of just, I like the look of it, do you know? And the B2, that's going to be interesting as well. Let's see what they can do with that. Considering there's already one in the sim already. It'd be interesting to see. But anyway, moving on. Golden Age simulations. Well, they've released their Boeing Stearman for the sim. We're checking this one out a little bit later on tonight. Live here on the stream. Anyway, Golden Age simulations. Well, they've released their iconic Boeing Stearman biplane for the sim. The release brings a slice of aviation history, offering an opportunity to fly the classic biplane that trained many military pilots in the 1930s and 1940s. Now, Alison Johnson will have the absolute authentic feedback on this because, well, Ali got a spin in one of these at Flight Sim Expo, right? So we know, and not to mention the round the world trip she's done with this aircraft. She spent a lot of time in the Stearman. Anyway, the aircraft was known for its military training. It trained so many pilots into World War II, so much so we actually included this in our 1940s series. We got to fly the Boeing Stearman for the Royal Canadian Air Force. Over 10,000 units were built in the United States, a lot of them then loaned up to Canada and so on. And the aircraft found new roles in civilian markets, mainly as crop dusters, sports planes, show planes for aerobatic and wing walking performances, and they still exist today. In fact, the Spirit of Tipperary, a Boeing Stearman, based in Weston, I believe, just outside of Dublin, well, that still flies to this day, right? Captain Gaiman, good to see you. Murph, I actually did my training in diamonds, including the 42. Brilliant! Wait till you see this one. Oh, you're going to love it. It's great to see you, Captain. What? Tell me, what part of the world are you in, and is it -5 degrees? I somehow doubt it. Hope you're well, man. Hey, Fornax, good to see you. Right, anyway, the Golden Age Simulations Stearman, well, it comes with 3 variants of it. The PT-17, which are Continental or 670 radial. The N2S series, colloquially known as the Yellow Pearl for its paint scheme. And the A75L300, a post-war modification fitted with a Lycoming R680-13 engine, right? It's definitely not that cold. Brilliant. Who's this? Gaseous Hurdle, good to see you. Glad to see more Irish people. Sure, if you're Irish, come into the parlour. Good to see you, welcome in. So key features include detailed cockpits that provide an immersive flying experience, true-to-life controls and operational equipment, including aileron and elevator controls, rudder pedals and tail wheel steering. I'm a little bit kind of misleaded or guided. What? True-to-life controls. Aileron and elevator controls. It's an aeroplane, you need those, right? Anyway, flight characteristics are replicated to give players a realistic feel of flying a vintage biplane. There's an EFB for aircraft management, custom avatars, and an interactive checklist. We're going to check out this machine here now in a little bit. There is a video there, but we'll skip ahead because we're going to be flying this anyway. You'll get to see the thing in action. It is important to say the following. If you go over to the Golden Age Simulations website, where the aircraft currently isn't there, right? It's just mad. Why don't I have alerts working? Captain Gaiman just subscribed. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, man. They were working earlier. Irish Explorer, just welcome in. Just finished watching the Helvetii stream. The ground and audio landing was an experience. A scary wolf. Thank you very much indeed. Gaseous Hurdle says, Limerick man here. Whoop, yeah with that. The thing looks really nice. Dougal, good to see you. Yeah, it's we'll give this a blast here now. If you wanted to buy it, right, Vasco from msfsaddons.com put the link, which is where you buy it. If you click on the link, it just takes you to a PayPal page. Now, Vasco's done it, so he says, fear not, that's how he bought it. I bought it that way, so it does work. It's just, I'd like to see the developer put the thing on the website, please. Do you know what I mean? Because if you hover over the link, it says nothing about the aircraft. It brings you to like payloads.com. I think it's powered by Stripe. It goes through PayPal, but it works. You buy it, it automatically brings you to a page. Then you can download the aircraft, and that's it. It just works. But it's weird, man. It's weird. So we're going to check this one out live on the stream. If you already have the DC Designs version, you're going to be scratching your head thinking, do you need one of these? If you're in the market for a vintage airplane, well, absolutely, you want to look at this. So, moving on. Vasco also covered a story here. I thought it was pretty cool. Featured Freeware, the Iris A10 Thunderbolt, and the old Milviz F86 Sabre. They've been ported over from the good old FSX into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, some things are, whilst others are, right? Let's talk about it. So, the Sabre F86 and the Iris A10 Thunderbolt 2, originally from two established developers in the industry, but they've been ported over to Microsoft Flight Sim with the permission of the prospective creators. Naturally, there are some caveats, but also some nice surprises. Milviz's F86 Sabre. Let's start with the Sabre. Developed by North American Aviation, the transonic jet fighter aircraft, also known as the Sabre Jet, first took to the skies in 1947. It was introduced to the US Air Force in 1949 and became a symbol of post-World War II military might, especially during its crucial role in the Korean War. Am I mad? But didn't Buzz Aldrin fly one of these and take out an enemy aircraft? Was he in a Sabre doing that? I could be wrong. Anyway, look, it has ailerons. Hey, right? It's a fun aircraft for those who have a fond liking for historic fighters. So the developer, Aviator 671, got permission from the original creators to bring it into the sim. It's an impressive accomplishment visually, especially in the cockpit, where it looks much better than most freeware releases, even some of the payware ones. Sadly, the major caveat is, all the gauges, they seem to work, there's no interactivity with them. The gauges do nothing. Well, they work, but you can't do anything. You cannot interact with them. There are no click spots. Nothing is clickable. Although key bindings appear to work just fine, this was a condition imposed by Blackbird in order to authorize this port. So, if you need to get certain things in the cockpit working, well, there's a key bind for it, but the visual click spots inside the virtual cockpit, they don't work. Okay. The result is an aircraft that looks stunning in the air. It's quite fun. Its immersion is somewhat broken due to the lack of clickable spots. And of course, there is a kind of a headache when it comes to VR. But anyway, you can pick that up for free if you wanted to fly a Sabre. It's over on flightsim.to. Next up, we have the Iris A10 Thunderbolt 2, which made its way to Microsoft Flight Sim by the same developer. The A10 is a significantly more modern aircraft than the F86 and has garnered some sort of legendary status amongst military personnel who have relied on its protection over the years. The A10s are class, lads. Often referred to as the Warthog, the A10, truly, it's a remarkable aircraft. Designed for the United States Air Force, a twin-engine jet primarily used in close air support of ground troops, first flown in 1972, introduced into service in 76. It's renowned for its durability, resilience, and of course the terrorizing 30mm cannon right in the nose. Jesus. These things can pack a punch and take a woeful beating. Anyway, the Freeware Iris one, it's quite similar undertaking to the F86. It looks great both inside and out, but the cockpit, it's also non-interactive. Thankfully, the aircraft's detailed model captures the rugged charm of the A10, including its distinctive straight-wing design, the iconic Avenger cannon, and the ordnance loaded under the wings. It looks ready for action. The A10 also flies and sounds very well for a freeware airplane, which helps to maintain high entertainment levels and offsets the lack of a clickable cockpit. That's also available for free over on flightsim.to. So, two relatively decent freeware aircraft ported from FSX with the permission of the original developers. If you're bored and you want to give something a shot, it'll put a smile on your face. The F86 and an A10. I mean, where would you get it? Where would you get it, lads? So, moving on, Orbx. they have a new airport. The Gold Coast is now on a short final. Yankee Bravo Charlie Golf. Nearing complete, Orbx are back with their with Australia's sixth largest city. It's a well-known holiday destination in the country, celebrated for the surf beaches, subtropical climate, and is home of Australia's largest theme park. A buddy of mine lives over there. But anyway, the upcoming release of the Gold Coast Airport set to be a comprehensive and detailed add-on. The airport layout has been updated to reflect its 2024 design, ensuring a current and realistic experience. It looks pretty nice. Some of the features: high quality rendition of the Gold Coast Airport with a 2024 airport layout. It has 4K textures, animated jetways, interior on the main terminal, unique ground service equipment vehicles, incredible attention to detail both on the land side and air side, highly optimized for performance, dynamic airport lighting, custom taxiways, and detailed ground markings. The attention to detail in both areas showcases Orbx's commitment to creating a realistic and visually appealing environment. Despite the impressive appearance, Orbx say the airport is optimized for performance, which should ensure a smooth experience across various systems. The developer behind this project, Matteo, is renowned in the flight sim community for his meticulous attention to detail and high quality work. His portfolio includes several notable projects such as Sacramento, Chester Airport in Connecticut, Hollywood Burbank, Skiathos, and Van Nuys, all excellent airports in the sim. Gold Coast Airport is now on a short final. According to the publisher, its release should be expected within a few days. Orbx have already reached out to a handful of content creators who are part of the beta team to say, right lads, you can show this one off if you wish. So I'll try and show it off when we get time to it. I love flying in Australia. Australia and New Zealand are probably my most favourite places to fly within the sim. I love exploring there because I don't know the area. I love exploring there, do you know? So I'm excited to see the Gold Coast up by Brisbane there. It'd be nice. Here's one. Aerosoft. Well, they've announced Antarctica Volume 2 and the Australian Casey and Skiways for Microsoft Flight Sim. Look at this. Following the release of the first volume, Aerosoft, in collaboration with Lime Sim, is set to introduce Antarctica Volume 2, Australian Casey and Skiways, to the sim on January 25th. The second installment continues the exploration of Antarctica, shifting the focus to the Australian Antarctic region, Antarctic Murphy, Casey on the opposite side of the continent. See, we got there. The expansion will offer a detailed representation of Casey Station, complete with the buildings and various elements that contribute to a realistic setting. Scenery includes the coastal landscape featuring penguin colonies and icebergs. Chopper pilots, helicopter pilots, will find the terrain challenging yet engaging, with opportunities to navigate through icebergs and explore the detailed base. For those preferring fixed wing, the expansion includes 2 skiways, the Casey Skiway, a medium distance operations, and also the Wilkins Aerodrome, about 70 kilometres south, which often receives larger aircraft like an A319 and the C-17 Globemaster. So, the detailed Casey station is modelled with attention to detail, including all the buildings and surrounding elements. The Wilkins Aerodrome Skiway and Casey Skiway cater to different type of flight operations. Animated elements, including the animals, vehicles and people, and custom sounds of animals and vehicles are included to complement the visual experience. The area around the base features aerial imagery, providing a broader scope for exploration. It looks pretty, right? Animated icebergs, we've seen this before. Penguin colonies, vehicle and clutter variety, enhanced terrain, which is good because some of the terrain down there looked weird, and then it has an informative manual. So, it aims to offer a more in-depth exploration of Antarctica's challenging yet captivating environment, inviting simmers to test their skills amidst the infinite whiteness. It's set to launch later this month on the 25th of January. Does anyone have this? Did anyone get this before? You ever grabbed this before? Do you have Volume 1? I think a lot of people grabbed it. I was very impressed with the icebergs movement. I mean, it looked the job. And I think we were waiting for the Dash 7 to be out, and then they delayed that. But now they seem to, they're moving on. They're moving on. Didn't take them too terribly long, did it? Do you know? But yes. I have part 1, says Memphis Dawn. Ooh. For a second there, I thought my chat stopped. It's not. I clicked pause. Smoky Mountain Flight Sim, good to see you, man. Showing the Twin Otter that they cancelled. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Well, they said they cancelled it, but they're going to bring it back. Hey, Kanzui is here. Good to see you, man. The Firefly Air planning team must have been involved in that one. Antarctic missions. Probably. Gina, good to see you. Yeah, well, finally, it's like volume 2. I feel like the first part, that Antarctica scenery, that came out friggin' ages ago, lads. Didn't it? Came out ages ago. 2024. Yeah, probably that's when the Twin Otter's going to come back in. My guess, the Twatter will come and fight in 2024. I strongly believe that's the case as well, because they said, don't worry, it's not going away. We're just making it go away for a while. Yeah, that's what they said. But anyway, now with this hot news, off the shelf, breaking news. We need like some sort of a, right, I need to get one of those. There needs to be an alert for breaking news. Surely to Jesus I have one. Anyway, breaking news. Arrows across America for Microsoft Flight Simulator fly the historic US air mail routes from the gold age of aviation. Microsoft Flight Sim has opened the gates for the recreation of countless historic aviation moments with unprecedented detail, from high-fidelity photorealistic aircraft and airports to the opportunity to enjoy all of this in a sandbox that genuinely resembles the real world. The possibilities are endless for creators to replicate in the virtual realm all of the great inventions and events that have marked history since the dawn of flight. Today, we're sharing with you one of the most interesting projects that fully leverages what Microsoft Flight Sim has to offer. Arrows Across America, a remarkable freeware add-on that revives a unique and nearly forgotten aspect of aviation history. The visual navigation system developed by the US Department of Commerce between 1926 and 1934. These concrete arrows and beacons, once crucial for guiding early airmail pilots, are meticulously recreated to provide an immersive historical experience for Microsoft Flight Sim users. Look at the cut of this. Arrows Across America resurrects a nearly lost chapter of American aviation history. In the late 1920s, the US Department of Commerce embarked on an ambitious project to support the Bajorian Contract Airmail, or the CAM system. I always get that wrong word. I once called that Bajorian. The Bajorian. The big, massive feckin' contract, right? I always get it wrong. Anyway, it was accompanied by 50-foot masts bearing flashing beacons, placed approximately every 10 miles along various airmail routes. The rudimentary yet effective system spanned across the United States, marking 34 CAM routes that crisscrossed the nation. Right? Brilliant. These arrows and beacons played a pivotal role in the development of aerial navigation during an era when flight instruments were rudimentary. Pilots largely relied on visual cues for navigation. By day, the arrows guided the pilots across the vast and varied American landscapes, and by night, the beacons' flashing lights provided vital waypoints. Check them out here. Arrows Across America started back in early 2022, and since then, the development team have been dedicated to accurately recreating these historical airmail routes and their unique navigation aids with a keen eye for detail and authenticity. The current version, version 3, it includes over 3,800 miles of airmail routes. Version 1, the maiden release of the add-on, focused on the CAM 5, stretching from Salt Lake City to Pasco, covering a distance of 543 miles. Version 2, CAM 32, a 333-mile stretch connecting Portland to Spokane. And in version 3, the latest iteration, marks a significant expansion in the add-on scope. CAM 4, LA to Salt Lake City, San Diego to Seattle for CAM 8, the western leg of CAM 18, San Francisco to Chicago, extending to Salt Lake City, and then Great Falls to Salt Lake City, CAM 26. In addition to the new routes, version 3 brings to life new hubs at Salt Lake City and Reno, and it introduces new animated hangar designs with route-specific CAM contractor branding, period vehicles, and adds several new arrow types. The add-on now features a total of 47 intermediate landing fields. What? Besides all of the above, the package now includes an updated 57-page manual, complete with route maps, historical weather overviews for the new states. Use of METAR data and weather radars is forbidden. Unforbidden. It's forbidden. After all, there was no such thing back in the 1930s. Not at all. They had the rock weather forecast. Rock on a string. If the rock is moving, it's windy. If the rock is not moving, it's calm. Right, do you know what I mean? Did we not see something like this before, lads? Did Red Wing not include one of these, or some of these, with their I'm trying to remember the name. I'm almost certain Red Wing. Do you know the guys who brought us the Connie and the 1930 stuff? Now, I don't think they did the full mail routes, but I definitely saw the beacons before. But this is pretty cool, right? If you'd like to make the whole experience even more realistic, a period-appropriate aircraft, just like the Boeing Stearman, especially when painted in the Varney airmail system. Nice. So, future plans, they want to extend, they want to add additional intermediate landing, new hangar designs, improvements to version 3, so on, so forth. If you're planning your next big adventure in the sim, Arrows Across America may be the perfect opportunity to discover the United States while learning more about the impact of aviation in its golden age and the challenges pilots had to face at a time to traverse large spans of terrain. This is pretty cool. Vasco, fair play to you. You can grab it over on flightsim.to. This is freeware. It's freeware. It's pretty cool, right? So I imagine what it does, it lifts out the default airports and puts in these kind of custom ones. Or it just puts in custom ones in areas that moves you away from all the modern stuff within the sim. So you're pretty much going back in time with this. It's kind of cool. It's slow though. It takes a long time in a steering or in a Stearman. Yeah, Vasco loves this kind of stuff. It is cool. It is cool. Oh, the Ford tri-motor. So that's a great idea as well. The tri-motor, sure, take that for a spin. Didn't the Boeing 247 have a strange kind of nav? It did, Dowler, it did. That's another aircraft you can try this with. Anyone hear from Wing 42 at all? Like, has anyone heard from him? Like, I hope he's alright, the devil. Like, he released an absolute cracker of an airplane, and the last update I got from him was months ago about the Vega. Haven't heard from him in ages. It's niche, like, it's a niche like gliding. Kind of is. It kind of is. Like, okay, if there's ground navigation stations there, you're laughing. Like, they would have used, depending on the weather, they would have used celestial navigation as well, right? Now, moving on, I do have some stories here, from our on-field correspondent, Epic Fool. He says, Murph, will you share a bit of stuff? I said, I will. Wait till you hear this now, right? On the 3rd of February, Vatsim Scandinavia and Vatsim UK, or VAT UK, are running an event called Platform Altitude. It'll mean that Aberdeen, Stavanger, which is Echo Kilo Bravo India and Echo Golf November Tango, will be staffed, and as part of that, they plan to staff up the Ekofisk heli traffic zone in the North Sea. This would mean heli pilots could depart Stavanger or Aberdeen and have ATC all the way until they touch down onto the offshore platform. How cool is that? Heli pilots on the 3rd of February are able to fly across the friggin' North Sea, out to some oil rigs, and have full ATC coverage. Epic Fool is doing a bit to help with some of the documents and trying to spread the word, as there are very few Vatsim events to have a helicopter aspect. That's cool, and we'll be talking about other Vatsim events here in a moment, but chopper flying is, I love doing it in the sim, right? How you manage to do it with Vatsim, and it's good for everyone. Vatsim controllers, for the vast majority, aren't particularly au fait with helicopter pilots, because, especially with Microsoft Flight Sim, they wouldn't have a whole lot of experience dealing with helicopter pilots on Vatsim. Tends to be the airliners, right? Or there's more GA coming into it with VFR stuff. But for the chopper pilots, this is huge. So, good stuff on that, Epic Fool. Looking forward to that. We'll have to check that one out. Could you imagine? ATC. I'm in a helicopter. How'd you know? I'm stopped. Do you know? But yeah, two awesome bits of news there. And Vasco, well found this mission. I'm going to have to try this. Arrows Across America. That looks great. And remember, on the 3rd of February then, for the Vatsim helicopter event. That'll be fun. Now, moving on, over to FS Elite, shout out to Callum and the lads. They bring us the story of KISS Simulation releasing Sarajevo International Airport for the sim. Sarajevo International, Lima, Quebec, Sierra Alpha, adding another Balkan destination to be discovered. Sarajevo International Airport serves as the main gateway to Sarajevo, the capital. So, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Located approximately 6 miles to the southwest of the city centre, the international airport was the first to feature an asphalt runway. Construction of the airport began in 1966 and it opened its doors to commercial traffic in 1969. The airport saw its first international route to Frankfurt launch later in a year. During the Yugoslav conflict, ownership and management of the airport switched repeatedly, first under control of the Yugoslav People's Army. The airport subsequently fell under control of Bosnian forces before being put under UN control. At the time, the airport featured in the largest humanitarian operation in UN history, when some 13,000 flights delivered over 160,000 tons of humanitarian aid to the besieged city of Sarajevo. Unfortunately, we don't have to go back too far in time to learn about all of that. But today, the airport serves as the country's primary aviation hub, bringing tourists and businesses to and from the country's capital. The airport served 1.3 million passengers in 2023 and expected to see a substantial improvement projects take place up until 2027. Numerous carriers fly to Sarajevo, including Qatar, who do a service from Doha, Salam Air to Muscat, and Lufthansa to Frankfurt, to name but a few. They've released their rendition of the airport, and well, we can see what it has here. Up-to-date ground layout, custom 3D buildings and vehicle models, high-resolution detectors, and a fully modelled interior. Ooh. Let's look at some pictures. Bosnia-Herzegovina, it's a lovely neck of the woods in the sim to actually go flying. Some of the scenery is stunning. We've done it before, do you know? I flew the London heli routes on Vatsim, a helicopter Microsoft Flight Sim, got great ATC with clearance. That's awesome. Hindor, great news, man. This looks impressive. I like the way they have the interior done. We flew to Sarajevo for, what was that series? I can't remember the series. We flew into Sarajevo though. It was beautiful, man. The scenery was great. But yes, it's available now over on the developer's Sim Market Store page. The purchase setting you back $14, excluding VAT. And the feature list, real world runway length, adjusted runway field height, ILS approach, angle matching 3.2 degrees, added additional airport objects, custom animated runway guard lights, added new building terminals, which is extending the old one, custom designed ground vehicles, custom pushback truck, updated taxiways, and custom taxiway and runway weathering. Nice. It looks the part. So, good stuff out of KISS Simulation. Now, we're nearly there. Say Intentions. I'll cover this one briefly, right? Say Intentions.ai. Well, they've launched the public beta amidst pricing concerns. Now, we've had a chat about this. Forder Learn to Fly has, he streamed this with the developers. And effectively, it is an ATC program that utilizes some AI technology. Meaning that it's kind of like a stepping stone. If you want to go from, you haven't done any ATC and you don't necessarily want to be dealing with humans right now because you want to learn it, well, this is probably the product for you. However, right, as interesting and cool as this project is, well, it comes with a fairly hefty price tag. It's not necessarily the developer's fault. It's more aimed at, well, that's how much at the moment AI coding costs. I mean, you got to run servers and all this sort of development. That'll eventually come down in time. But at the moment, this thing is going to cost about $300 a year subscription. Vatsim is free. Anyway, they've now released beta, and I think Gibbo said he was trying it out there to see what it's all about. It's set at $29.99 or $95 a month, or $2.95 per year during the beta phase, which is very odd in itself because you're paying money to get beta access. But the developer has expressed their intention to keep costs as low as possible, balancing the financial demands of advanced AI technology with user accessibility. Still, it's an undeniably high entry cost for software that is still essentially in the testing phase, and despite showing lots of promise, it has yet to prove itself. I've held back from actually delving into this because from what I've seen so far, there's nothing here that I can say this is definitely worth it. At the same time, there's nothing here for me to say you need to avoid this like the freaking plague. Let's just give this a little bit of time to see where they go with it. I love the tech. I love the idea that they can harness AI to do it. I love that idea, right? But that sort of pricing, that's pilot edge pricing. As in, that's the highest level you can get of simulated ATC, right? And Vatsim is free. It's a hard balance, this one. And there's other products along the way, perhaps beyond ATC. Even the, I forget the other one. There's another ATC program out there, half the price, pilot to ATC. There are other options there. And the fact that it's still in beta, via 4 to one location, It's hard to give it a nil bash. Gibbo says, I wish these guys well, but it seems that they are 6 months behind where Beyond ATC are in terms of only now finding the limitations of Microsoft Flight Sim, including the need to inject AI traffic and a good few other things. Right? Do you know? Where's this now? Ouch, yeah. The Pilot Edge isn't that expensive. No, Pilot Edge is about 30 quid a month, ailerons. Am I raving? It's about $25 a month. Pilot Edge, I'm almost certain. I'd honestly rather have a generic TTS voice pack. Yeah. Beyond ATC looks a lot more appealing. Let me see. Class 37 Lover, good to see you. Navigraph at 9 quid a month for everything that it provides. Well, no, well, it's impressive, right? Can we have a listen here?
Hey everybody, it's Brian with Say Intent. Manchester Ground, Skyhawk 121 Alpha Zulu. Can I get a radio check, please? One of the great things about Say Intentions is that you can speak naturally.
Windcom. Visibility 10.
Well, that's just an ATIS.
Robotic voice, and we also have and controller position international too. Let's bring that off.
Altimeter 29096.
Like, we've heard demos of it, and it is interesting. It's very interesting to see what they can do with it. But that's the price, you know. Let's see this one mature a little bit more before, you know. I will delve into it if anyone wants it. Like everything you see on Flight Sim stuff, lads. If you're interested in the product, or you know you haven't seen it trialed, tell me. Drop me a DM on Discord. I'm more than happy to buy the thing and test it out for you. We can do it on a stream. Doesn't matter. If you want to see me hand, I'm after bashing me hand. If you want to see the thing in detail, I'll be the guinea pig. Do you know? Hey, Dazza is here. I've downloaded Say Intentions just for a month as a stopgap for VF4. That's one way to do it. Why does it have the text-to-speech voice from the 90s? It doesn't. No, that's not a fair. It's not a fair rendition. Gibbo says, what is cool is that if you join the West USA server, you can choose if you want to have other Say Intention pilots or hear other Say Intention pilots ATC calls. Oh, that's pretty cool. Which means you'll be able to see them as well, Gibbo. Yeah? Well, you'll be able to see an aircraft because there's no model matching, but yeah, we get the idea. That is pretty cool, actually. Big Al says, it might be impressive, but ongoing subscriptions is too much. Plus, I'm sure that they can do it in 2024, or 2024 could do it as default. Hard to call. Great Voices ATC packs, so you could have maybe Johnny Cash guiding into Memphis. Maybe. If there was one-off payment instead of a sub, then maybe a subscription. Yeah, maybe. I just want Italian ATC when landing in Italy, and Irish ATC when landing in Ireland. Vatsim is your only man for that, because like Pilot Edge, that only covers like the West US for now. Do you know? So yeah, we'll have to see what the crack is there now. Right, so moving on. FS weekend. This is approaching. I'm unsure can I get over there, but I'm trying to. But sure, we'll see. It's on Paddy's weekend. I'm in the parade. Myself, Gibbo, and Muse are in the parade. Sure, we have to march to St. Patrick. Right. But anyway, Europe's premier flight simulation event returns in March over to Holland. It's one of the most prominent flight sim events in Europe, set to return with its 2024 edition at the Aviodrome Museum in Lelystad in the Netherlands, scheduled for the 16th and 17th of March. FS Weekend 2024 gearing up to be a landmark event for flight simulation in Europe, offering an engaging discovery experience for sim enthusiasts and indeed professionals, right? Dr. Sisu, why are my alerts not working? They were working. Dr. Sisu, welcome in, man. Tier 1 subscribed as well. It's a 5-minute walk from Two Cats' work. Two Cats, if I manage to get there, put on the kettle, right? We shall amble, you and I. And anyway, the overview. It's among the most significant events worldwide for the flight sim community. Historically, it attracted over 3,000 attendees, including cockpit hardware aficionados, top-tier software developers, and of course, the flight sim enthusiasts. 2024 will be marked by a refreshed new format, which promises to deliver an even more dynamic and enriching event. Looks pretty cool. They're going to showcase a new format designed to enhance attendee engagement. An overhauled website, stronger social media presence, the event aims to bring a broader audience to and foster community engagement. FS Weekend offers a unique opportunity for commercial stand holders and sponsors. They're still available up until the 1st of February. And some of the exhibitors so far, SimMarket, IndyBills, Navigraph, PMDG, ProSim, Aerosoft, and we have some social media and community engagement. FS Weekend is actively engaging with the communities and on the platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and X. And the organisation encourages everyone to promote their participation and share their experience through their social channels. Registrations are open. You can get a ticket through the Aviodrome website, and a day ticket costs $18.95. Avocados, yeah. Brilliant. Old Man Goat Hair, good to see you. So FS Weekend, one's in chat if you're going. Just drop us a 1 in the chat now, live, if you're going to this. If you're not going to it, don't put in anything. You'll just confuse us. But it'd be interesting to see. It's Europe's version of Expo. No one else is saying it, but that's what it is, right? It's Europe's version, and obviously the lads are trying to build it. It's great that it's at the Aviodrome Museum because, well, that's a huge aircraft museum, and they have some serious aircraft out there. Serious stuff. They have beautiful stuff out there. So, let me see. Gibbo, will we go for the crack, will we?
Hello there.
Oh, P.S. Mirandai, good to see you. Yeah, so maybe a handful of people. It'd be interesting. Like, it's the closest one. FS Expo this year is in Vegas. That's a long out, and it's expensive. Do you know what I mean? This one probably be a little bit easier. I mean, you probably fly into Amsterdam and you take the train out, or you get a car or whatever. You know, be interesting to see. It's a more realistic option than Vegas. Yeah. Are you getting the kitchen fit that weekend, Murph? No, don't mention that, will you? Jesus. But anyway, FS Weekend, we'll see what the crack is. Now, we'll finish up here with some Vatsim events. Yes. And, as Epic Fool was telling us on the 3rd of February about the helicopter stuff, there's a couple of nice ones happening over the weekend. So if we have a look at Saturday here, they have this Cross Africa 2024 Northbound. This is an event that was done some months ago. Well, they're back in action now. The first one of 2024, taking place, pardon me, on Saturday. The excitement from the previous event, VAT SSA, Maghreb and Egypt. Similar to the Southbound Avenue, you have the freedom to select your preferred flight. For those seeking an extensive journey across the continent, take on the longer route originating from Johannesburg and heading towards Casablanca or Cairo. Alternatively, you can opt for a mid-haul flight connecting Dar es Salaam with Cairo or Abuja and Casablanca. Pretty cool. You need to book your place, book your slot for this event. It's happening on Saturday. I think, who did this the last time? Did Matty do it, I think? But you're flying across Africa. It's pretty cool, right? I mean, you've seen these cross the pond events and everything else. This is like the ideal trainer because, you know, it's relatively long haul flying and you have full ATC coverage the entire way. Pretty cool. Viper Strike! 3rd time I've said hi, but Murph needs to check the main stats page. It's exceeding expectations. Oh, right. It's more real. Yeah, absolutely. Viper, why is Viper giving out to me? Jesus. Viper's giving out to us. FS Hub. Let's check out Firefly Air, shall we? Stats page. Oh, hang on. Stats page. Let us see. Firefly Air. Hello, Firefly Air. We should go to the stats console. It's what do you mean exceeding expectations? Maybe it was planned. Now, let me see. Stats. Are we looking at airports, Viper? Oh, you want me to check out the airport? I forgot to say. Why didn't you say that, lads? Why didn't you say that? So, stats. Are we looking here to see what the most popular airport is? Is that the idea? Wait till you see when I put Burr as a hub. That'll really freak them out, wouldn't it? 747s taken out of Echo India Bravo Romeo. That's right, lads. 747s. It is going to become the most busiest hub in the universe, right? Now, let's have a look. We're loading in here now, right? We're loading in. Right, so let's have a look here. So top pilots, yes. Top pilots, distance, yes. Top aircraft, 737 is up there. Look at that. Yes. Top pilots, very good, yes. Top airlines, gear up the yard at our 2.3 million. Jesus. Top airline flights, 5,000. Holy crap, lads. Top airports, departures. Pittsburgh, right up there. That's awesome. And then arrivals, Pittsburgh, they're now on the leaderboards as well. That's pretty cool, lads. That's awesome stuff. 453 departures this month already out of our new hub in Pittsburgh. That's incredible. Jesus, Heathrow, it's not that far ahead when you think about it. Dublin has a lot of arrivals. That's pretty cool. That's awesome stuff, lads. How cool is that? And before, just to put this into context, right? Before Does that mean we win then? Right? Let's be realistic. Kuna. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's go to Kuna. That's a great spot. Before, Pittsburgh wouldn't have featured here on the stats, and ever since it was opened as a hub of Firefly Air, well, you guys are flying in and out of there, making the place tremendously busy. Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone. And thank you, Viper, for bringing that to my attention for the third time. Right, moving on. We're here to check out a airplane. No, it's an airplane. And I have a bit of a spiel here for us, right? We all sitting down for this one now. Right. I'm sitting down, right? Why isn't this working? Direct me. Oh, yeah. So this, friends, bit of sound. This is from creator of Worlds. And it features that of a Diamond DA42, right? Let's talk a little bit about this. Because the feature list of this airplane, in terms of being designed for students, just remember that the aircraft is designed for students, right? The flight model and 3D model, number of performances to the AFM, verified testing and feedback from countless DA42 instructors and students, right? Accurately single engine physics and demonstrations, custom elevator, rudder and aileron animations. The elevator and rudder trims also move on the surfaces. Elevator backstop, tiny bump and drop in the gear, deceleration on touchdown, airframe shake during ground power runs, 4K textures across the board for incredible details and reflections, intricate exterior model matched with hundreds of pictures at various angles, intricate interior model featuring the moderate and heavy wear. Interior model features an option of black panel or standard grey, subtle and photorealistic photo overlays for an incredible lifelike texturing. We're going to show you that here now in a second. Fiberglass scratching, TKS leaks, and the exterior model features realistic, moderate and heavy dirt with wear to match their local DA42. Can you move the text? Can I move the text? What text? Other airlines must hate us. I'll tell you. The systems. Accurate electrical system with failures and circuit breakers. Custom standby attitude indicators, pull to cage the sim. De-icing system with weight. Custom gear pump simulation with state-saving and emergency gear extension. Stall heat. Trim disables autopilot. Custom lighting that warms up and responds to system voltage. G1000 brightness also responds to system voltage. Alternator voltage simulation. The sounds from the one and only Boris Audio Works, sounds who did the sounds for the fly-by-wire A321X, the Flight Effects Vision Jet, and so on. Sound simulation follows systems. Hello there. Welcome in. Captain Gaiman just said hello. Sound simulation follows systems. Example, the hydraulic actuator. Dynamic engine, wind, and ground roll sounds. Engine sounds differ depending on prop pitch, fuel flow, and speed. Wind sounds are also dynamic, creating howling sounds in slips and drag noises with gear and flaps. Sounds are sourced from first-party sources, including the local DA42, and it also features headset simulation. The engine, the power plant, engine mapping, dual ECUs, ECU test procedures, ECU error detection and switching, ECU runtime saving and high-altitude flame-out prevention, custom manifold pressure, fuel injection and turbo simulation with alternate air and filter icing, engine temperature based efficiency, more friction, less power when it's cold, custom water cooling with water pump and thermostat, which is also affected by the rain, custom oil cooling with oil water heat exchanger, custom oil pressure simulation with oil bypass valve, gearbox temperature simulation, fuel temperature simulation, oil and fuel starvation when flying inverted, custom fuel pressure, fuel slosh and starvation when slipping with low fuel, reaction to engine failure and failure modes, propeller feathering, windmilling and piston compression physics, defeathering accumulator, and a glow plug controller. Now, there are some slight differences of the engine parameters, including the temps, pressures and RPMs, slow and delayed engine indications, props come off the start lock when the master is turned on, and it has feathering and wind milling. This is huge. This is huge. There's a lot of features in terms of what's going on under the hood of the aircraft. So, As this is a preview, it's currently work in progress. It's not released yet. So if we do see anything weird or wonderful, well, don't worry, the developers are still working on it, right? All these features are for the DA42, this machine right here. Now, we've all seen a DA42 before. Beautiful twin engine. These things are very popular at flight training schools. They're a lot cheaper to fly, right? And, well, I know a lot of people who would have trained on these in the real world, including our very own Captain Gaming. So I suppose, looking at the visual fidelity here, this thing does look very, very nice indeed. And we will get up a lot closer to it to show you some of these, show you some of the features with the textures. But certainly the modelling done here is just incredible. They've done a great job. I mean, it looks like a DA42. It's look at those engines. Aren't they remarkable looking? Absolutely stunning. So we'll zoom in here now in a second. Bring us out the road here a little bit, Murph. What do you think of the visuals of it, lads? It looks the part, doesn't it? Now, I know it's super bright where I am, but don't worry, we will show off all the finer details now in a moment. Right? Look at the size of the engines, look. So let's get in and start looking at some of these details, shall we? Look at the leading end, or the leading edge of the wing, for example, right? And I'll slow the camera right down so you can really get an appreciation of what's going on here. Beautiful. See the dirt and the grime? Like, I mean, she's a weathered, dirty, it's a dirty bird. We love a dirty bird. It's impressive, isn't it? As we move down here at the side of the exhaust. It's very well done, isn't it? It's very well done. That's some beautiful texture work. Now, look at the detailing, right? If we go to the wheel here. Hydraulic fluid. I mean, look at the friggin' stickers even. Look. Right? The brakes, the fuel line, the tires themselves. Everything here looks very, very sharp. Easy to see. The carbon fibre in the friggin' wheel bay, look. Beautiful. Far wheel. Look at the friggin' detail in the class. I'm liking what I see here. Then you have the engines, look. And the propellers of said engines. These things are a remarkable sight looking out the window. They're huge. They're absolutely huge. I love the weathered look to it. Doesn't matter how clean it's going to be, it'll never be clean. Never be clean. So I'll enter the aircraft here from the left side where we have a little step. And we can actually step up onto the wing. So we'll just jump in here. There's a static port. Get up, see Daisy, don't hit your head. And let's go check out the interior here, shall we? And what you've seen on the outside, well, it's replicated here on the inside. Look at the detail. Isn't that gorgeous? Very, very nice indeed. It's like that carpety thing. You just want to rub your hand or your feet on it. Do you know what I mean? Fire extinguisher. A POH is sitting there. They're gone for accuracy here. I mean, it looks the part, right? Now we'll ramble into the cockpit. Look at the cockpit. Look at the glare shield. Look at the texturing on the glare shield. It's fantastic. So we get right up and close here now to see how everything looks, right? So we'll start off over here with some of our circuit breakers. Everything's nice and clear. Got our G1000 units in there. Okay, look at the dust. Look at the dust on the G1000s, look. Weathered or bust makes it more real. 100%. 100%. She is a looker, G-Slayer. Good to see you, man. And then we have our steam gauge backup dials here, look. Very, very sharp, very crisp, easy to see, easy to read. Beautiful. And look, like, do you know what I mean? It's controlled in that location there. You'd absolutely hop yourself if you got into this thing wrong, wouldn't you? But it's all done to a very high standard. Visually, it looks great. So what we need to do, we're going to jump out of this view and now jump into the cockpit. And well, you'll notice that we have some canopies open, right? So we'll just slide ourselves in here to the back seat, as she said to the bishop, and we'll get the door closed. Door closed, yes, there's the back closed, and we'll get the front door, or the main canopy closed. Very good. We can open our storm window. And there is an audible change, which is great, right? So Very impressive stick. It is! And look at the modelling of said stick, right? They don't all jump around the house, but like... Right? It's part of the diamond. They knew what they were doing years before we did. Right, so let's have a look at some of the stuff we can do here, right? So, behind us, mainly your lights, right? Your interior lights are all here. Floodlights. There's not much else there that we need to worry about. Floodlights, that's all there. Canopy lock is already engaged. So looking around in here, well, let's get a little bit of familiarization, right? So we have this, the auxiliary pumps located here, right? And if we move up, there's our trim wheel. Does the job. We have our cross feeds. So if we open them, mind your trim, Murphy. We'll open these and drag these lads back. So you can shut off your fuel, yeah? So that's your fuel shut off. That's usually how you find the aircraft. Then we have our main throttle, left and right. Moving up the road, then we have our park and brake. We have your cabin defroster and cabin air. Rudder trim with a rudder trim needle, depending on the aircraft and what the engines are doing. Now the props on the DA42, they don't spin in opposite directions. They both spin the one way. So you do actually have P factor. You get dragged off to one side. Pretty cool. Negative, the fuel selectors are left on after shutdown. Really? Are we sure? Okay. Does that depend on the school or by the POH? Let's turn them back on so before we get in trouble. POH? Really? That's not like diamond. Okay, we'll leave them on, right? We'll leave them on. Let's not get in trouble. Right, so what do we have here? On our main kind of glare shield, if you want to call it that, right? You have this your ECU test, right? And it's kind of, I think the easiest way to kind of put this back is if you think of a mag test, your magneto test. I mean, that's kind of roughly before you do your flight, you do your run up. And you can see here the aircraft may only be operated in accordance with the airplane flight manual in the normal category, provided the national operational requirements. Everything's very sharp here. It's great to see that. It's very, very sharp, right? So moving across, we have our engine starter. We have electrical master, avionics, gear and fire test. You have your gear indicator. You have your gear lever. All the circuit breakers work, which is awesome, right? Fuel pumps are at the right and left engine. Flap indicator. Again, you have a ton more of circuit breakers located here. Over here, then you have your DI systems, which will be set to off, medium or high. Your windshield, you have an ice light, and then you have your pumps here as well. All of this is simulated, which is brilliant, right? Absolutely brilliant. And we'll show you this cage thing here as well for your artificial horizon. And then we have some lights over here on the side, right? Now, it's a Jet A thing. Yeah, it's the fuel. It's a Jet A plane. Can't have any air in the line. Right, okay. Let's get some battery power into this for the sheer crack, will we? Ooh. The sounds already, isn't that great? Okay, so position light. Go ahead, turn that on. The lighting in this thing is stunning. I need to show you at nighttime when it's all powered up. See that floodlight there? It's absolutely friggin' gorgeous. It's gorgeous at nighttime, right? So we do have auxiliary pumps. They're audible as well. Leave them off for the moment. We have our main pumps on over here. Window is open. So let's see what we can do here. So we have engines, right? Now there is an in-sim checklist. Before engine start. Auxiliary pumps check off. Fuel selectors check on, guards are closed. Power levels are set to idle. Park and brake set. Alternate air is checked or pushed off. Alternate air is over on the right hand side. That's your alternate air. Open, off. Flap selector check up, up. Fuel pumps off. Gear selector is down, down. Masters are off. Pitot heat check off. Alternators check on. Alternators off, on. They're on. Volters check to auto. They're on auto. All the lights, no annunciator lights are cast system here. So pitot, stall, alternator fails. Okay. Electric master switch is now on. G1000 powered. Control stick should be free and correct full travel. Free and correct full travel. Variable elevator stop. Stick back and hold. Power full. Stick moves forward. Power idle. Stick moves backwards. So, stick back and hold. Put your power to full and the stick should go forward. You missed a gyro. Missed a gyro. Electric master is on. As in avionics. Looks like Murph, sounds like Murph, but it ain't Murph. This imposter is using a checklist. I know, right? That's because I'm going to get given out to. It's a tiny bit. You missed the gyro. Never mind the gyro. Yeah. You can hear the sound. So, again, it's work in progress. So, Tommy, am I right in saying when this works, we'll hold the stick, increase the power, the stick will automatically move forward, we reduce the power, and the stick will automatically come back? Is that right? Because you can hear the motors moving, yeah? Maybe that's the case. Right, now, trim as required. Keep it as it is. Fire and gear warning test. We like making noises, so we're going to do that. It's over here. They work. Very good. Flaps full travel test. Again, the sounds, lads, are brilliant. Have a gawk out to bind it. Yeah, they're working. Yes, to prevent power on stalls, it does work. It's just the stick animation. Gotcha. Thanks for that. Okay. De-ice the system test if required. We don't actually need it, but if we needed it, we could turn it on, right? Memory trims. Fuel quantity check. That's okay. Tick the item right. They're all okay. Engine start. So doors close. ACL strobes. Power levers. Clear. Engine master. Glow. Start. Oil. Outside red within 3. Opposite engine. Repeat procedure. Right, okay. Right, let's give this an out blast, so shall we? Wait now. Doors, yes. ACL strobe on. That's your beacon, effectively. Prop is clear. Engine is set to idle. Engine master switches go on. We'll go with the right engine first. There's a warning, that's okay. Starter key is going to go. Glow indication. Wait until it's off. And then it's going to be a start. Are we ready? That was pretty. Now we'll close the window. Decent sounds, right? So you start the left engine first, that powers the alternator, correct? But it doesn't really have to, doesn't have the effect in the sim. Okay. So for future, right, we'll start the left first. Sweet. Good sounds here. Let's monitor. Temps, pressures, starting to come up. Now we can have a couple of options here. Engine. So we have this lean system here, we've seen that before. Cylinder select, assistance mode, lean mode, okay. Map output, that's fairly straightforward. Okie doke. Okay, so your standard Garmin units. Oh yeah, check this out. Pull to cage, look at this. Oh yes. Did you see the state of that? Beautiful. Right, reset barrel, reset direction, that's all okay. Moving on here now, we can test some of these to make sure they're working. We can turn off an LMFD, for example. Pull the circuit breaker, and it's off. How cool is that? Everything's modelled here. They're all relics of the working title. You're going to fix that later. Sweet, okay. Okay, so pewter heat, avionics on, TAWS system test doing its thing. While we're waiting, stall heater failed. That could be a RPM thing, I'd say. While we're waiting, let's check out some of the night lighting. Oh yes, look at the cut of that. Isn't that beautiful? That blue light, right? And look, like, you see the reflections on the canopy and stuff. It's stunning. Isn't that pretty? I think that's stunning. The stall heat is derated on the ground. Sweet.
TOS system test. Okay.
Isn't it gorgeous? Now, if I were to turn on some of my lights overhead, I don't know how well they shine, but sure, let's see. Yeah, nice bit of spill lighting in there. Yeah, they work. They work. Sweet. Right. Turn them off. And we'll make it. Look at the colour. Fantastic. If you look over the nose there, you'll see where the landing lights are. Like, it's done really well, lads. But check out the sounds there at the moment. It is nice and calm and quiet on the outside. Decent lights. Those strobes are powerful. Look at them lighting up the building. Very nice. Okay. Make it daytime. Do we want to hear some sounds? So, quick check here now. Park and brake is set. Temperatures are coming up. Now, you might say it sounds very quiet. Well, it does. We'll give it a listen now and see what happens, right? Now, just to put that into perspective, lads, that wasn't even 50% power, right? So it's a very quiet plane. That's about 30% power. From the interior, let's have a listen. Mind your ears. Do we like? We like. So headset simulation is on the center console behind the seat. I couldn't get this working earlier. Now it's working. Brilliant. I love it. I love it. So a headset simulation turned on. Listen. Bit of a rev here now. That sound is savage. Now, there's also panel lights. Where were they hidden as well? Let's have a look. Tommy, you can also press the airspeed indicator needle to toggle the cabin lights. Airspeed indicator needle. Hidden click spot. Brilliant. Make it nighttime. Let us inspect the cabin regions. Nothing going on. Press the needle. Ooh. Our lights are on. That's a handy click spot. Nice. Nice one. Right. Let us have a look. So, what's our cast? Stall heat. That's okay. Put this over to that transponder. We're going to go standby. And we'll go back to him now in a second. Kind of stuff. There's no X-Plane previews. Wait until you go 97 for takeoff. Oh, yeah. Sounds like Dundee's telephone call in Crocodile Dundee. Brilliant. Right, okay. Let's see what happens. Wouldn't be like Murphy to crash on takeoff. Park and brake coming off. Bit of Toby eye tracking on for the crack here, just to give us that immersive feel. Look at those engines looking out the side, look. The state. A bit of power. We have rollage. Good luck to you there now, Finton. We're rambling out here. It's a beautiful cockpit. It's a lovely place to sit. I think the texture work in here is awesome, lads. Now you might be saying, Jesus Murph, for a conventional flight sim add-on, well, there's no virtual pilots. We can't see anyone. It's an autonomous plane. I don't know, is that going to be added, Tommy? Are you guys going to add that after release or before release? It's not 100% necessary, I suppose, to your target audience. This aircraft is designed to aid students learning this aircraft. I mean, if they're flying this aircraft in the real world, this is going to become a tool to help them practice within a simulated environment. If you're not a real world student and you're just looking for that extra level of realism when it comes to how the aircraft is modeled based on the real world counterpart, well, this is definitely going to be on your radar. Do you know? I need to bug our modeling guy to do that. Brilliant. I'm just saying, right? Someone already made an avatar for me. The geniuses that are got friends. I'm just saying, you know, it'll bring the value of the aircraft up or down, you know. What's my rating, Murph? Gibbo, don't be saying things like that before we'd even do the other thing. Imagine if I did ratings, Gibbo. Imagine if I did, like, ratings. If I were to rate add-ons and give them a score. And not only that, but what if they appeared on some sort of leaderboard? The poor Gibbo had to spend the last 7 days making. That's right, friends. So as we taxi out here, the lights are already on. There's a brand new review series coming to the channel, Murph Reviews, right? And the first video is going to release this coming Sunday. My aim is to cover every flight simulation aircraft add-on there is. That's a tall order. There's hundreds of them. But that's the plan. So this coming Sunday, you're going to see the start of a brand new series. The aim is to get one video out a week. And, well, you'll see more this coming Sunday. That's all we can say, you know, before we get in trouble. So, transponder, let us go and say altitude reporting. Transponder's on. We're going to back taxi here. 10 out of 10. Would fly drunk again? The price, we've no details yet on the price. The developers are still working on this aircraft. Release date, I'm sure you guys can see, it's getting there. It's not 100% finished yet. And based on what I've seen so far, when it comes to the features, okay, there's no EFB. I've no way to see what's actually going on in terms of like a damage model. Because they're trying to replicate what the aircraft does in the real world, yeah? You're not going to see, oh yes, here's this line and it's technical. You don't see like an engine visualizer on the real aircraft. You will, however, see its performance. What's the RPM at? What sort of power am I getting? How is the aircraft behaving? Do I have a circuit breaker out? What's my CAS telling me? That's the stuff you're going to be focusing on. Why is that screen on? I don't want that screen. How did we get that back to what it should be? There is a way I can change this. We have synthetic vision. We can turn that on or off. There was a way to have that screen the other way around, wasn't there? Am I allowed to post links? If you can whisper to Gibbo Ireland, the right-hand man, the man of the hour, the genius that is. What do we think so far, lads? Visually, isn't it stunning? It sounds great. It looks incredible. They also have a couple of custom views set up for us here with the showcase cameras. Oh, look at the state of that. Look at the friggin' suspension working. It's doing the suspension things. You have 2 PFDs, Murph. Yeah, I pressed the little red button. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Right, sorted. Thank you, thank you. If I can fly the HMA Comanche without breaking it, this is a good buy. Yes! Right, so we've sufficient runway ahead of us here, but before we get going, we're going to do a quick little ECU test. Tommy, you might tell me the gearbox temperature, will you? Okay, parking brake on. Because for me to do this test, don't I need to check the gearbox temperature? What do you mean? Isn't there something about the gearbox temperature in the green or something, no? Or am I completely making that up as I go along? I could be making that up as I go along. Maybe it's just to do with the overall oil temperature and pressure. In the systems page. Aha! Yes, okay. So when we're doing this test, we need to make sure that the gearbox temperature is in the green, right? Okay, so we're going to do what's called the ECU test. Doesn't matter what engine we do this, I just make sure I'm on idle, yeah? So if I press and hold the ECU test, have a look at this. Right engine. And we'll do one out for the left engine. Okay. Right, so for takeoff, we're going to go for flaps 1. How long do we hold for ailerons? Does it keep revving it? I don't know. Yeah, sweet. Okay, right, so we're going to say flaps 1 for takeoff. Lights are on, we're squawking, and we're talking. Right, let's go flying. Are we ready? Parking brake coming off. Power coming in. And let's go. Take up power set. Speed live. Them sounds, man. It's 90. Yep, see Daisy. Positive rate. Gear coming up. This thing hand flies beautifully. Absolutely stunning to hand fly this thing. What do you mean that was disappointing? What did it do? Because it didn't crash? Flaps in. %, and hold the brakes. What? There's just no pleasing some people. Needed more power. We'll do it again, so. But I want to show you something before we do that, right? Wait till you see this.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Wait till you see this, right? What flight controls? I have the Thrustmaster HOTAS throttle and a Verpil Warbird stick, right? Want to show you this. This is absolutely friggin' deadly, right? So we're going to turn off engine, just an engine. Look at the impact on the sound, right? Now that prop, it's feathered. It automatically feathers. We'll turn back on the engine control. And once we hit, we can do two things. We can either restart it, or if we hit enough wind, it'll start for us. Watch this. It's deadly. So it's now unfeathering. Dip it into the wind here a little bit. Pick up the speed. Come on, you devil. Come on, you devil. Nearly. Nearly. Give it a good bit of speed here now. She'll do it. We're getting very low. There you go, you devil. But look at the impact. That's what I wanted to show you, right? Look at the impact when an engine is taken offline. The aircraft instantly reacts to it. Check it out, right? We'll try it now on the left side. No hands. Look at the wing dip. Straight away it's gone out of there. Look at the thing feather. And all the while, now the right engine is doing all the work, right? And we'll do the same crack again. You see the prop unfeather. And then if you can, it'll just start with the air windmilling it. Hit it enough speed, she'll eventually fire. So wait for the turn. Give it a second. Bit of speed. We'll try and catch it on the turn. I'll give it a second now. Go on, you devil, you better start here. Come on, Jesus, will you do us something? 130, go on, you devil. There you go. That's so much fun, right? It's like, yes, I'm doing a thing. Right, so we better do one of these fancy takeoffs then. Just, you know what I mean? There'll be people giving out. The animation is so good, isn't it? It's awesome. You need 125 knots. A windmill restart would require an engine disassembly. Oh Jesus! It doesn't matter. We can do it in the sim, and it's grand.
Baby, yeah.
Right, let's see what we can do here. We'll touch down, and then we'll do a mad takeoff. 100% and hold the brakes. Nuts. So there's our gear warning. That's working. Gear coming down. Give ourselves a notch of flaps here for the crack. Jesus, this is going to be a tight turn, isn't it? Right, let's see what we can do. It flies beautifully well. People are going to be so impressed. Yeah. Maddie's like, I want one. Do you hear those sounds? I'm adding in a bit of a slip. Listen. Isn't that amazing? Love it. Right, we're coming in hot here like an Aegis. Easy now, Jemima. We want to stop abruptly and then take off again after we give it 100%. Easy now. Easy now. Okay. 104. Eesh. Right, on the brakes. The brakes. Bring your flaps in. Bring it to a stop. Easy. Okay, right. One notch of flaps. Now they want us to do what we don't want to. Yeah, the bar sounds are awesome. So we're going to do 100% and hold the brakes. Okay. Get ready for whiplash. And we're off. Jesus. Do you hear the roars of that engine? 40 knots. 60. Oopsie daisy. Positive rates.
Don't sink.
Gear up.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
We won't sink.
Don't sink.
Totally fine.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Why are we getting that?
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't.
Is it because of our altitude, I wonder?
Don't sink.
Don't stink.
Sink.
Don't stink out the gaff. Yeah, yeah. Airspeed alive quickly, yeah. Right, she's grand now. And flaps in. Now we're just going to climb here for a moment, right? Because we're going to see. I'll check it from the outside. Hang on a second. That's a strange view. Look at the engine. Right, let's see if we can have a bit of fun with this. We'll put it into an Owl powered off stall. 3,500 feet. This will be interesting.
Check gear.
Hang on, we'll try it again. We'll be more aggressive in our endeavours. How's that? Oh, we're right up there now, Jemima. The
Check
wing drops.
gear.
That's awesome. I didn't touch the throttle yet. Jesus. Right, let's see, can we do an owl spin here, will we? Right, into a stall, and just as she stalls, we're going to kick the rudder.
Check gear.
Oh, didn't like that. Try it again, Merv, try it again. We'll get there, lads. We're not very high for this. Yeah, spinning a twin, it can be done. I once spun a Concorde. Listen, it'd be fine, right? Totally grand. Get up, get up, get up. Hang on. Give it a second now. Get that speed up. There we go. Right, get up there now, Jemima. Now, we want to spin this, right? Wait till we hit 0.
Check gear.
There's the wing. Oh, Jesus. Didn't like that.
Check gear.
Do it again. We're almost inverted. This will definitely do it.
Check gear.
Oh, be the Jesus. Do you hear those sounds from the rudder, though? Listen to this, right? Right, now, inverted. Didn't they say... I was trying that, Red Baron. Rudder and aileron. No answer. Try it one more time, right? Plenty of power here now, right? We'll try it one more time to see will it go into absolute nuts. 40 tries later. Yeah. Is it Murphy proof? It is. Let's see what happens.
Check gear.
Nah. What if I shut off an engine? Do you know what we have to do now, lads? It has to happen. Oh, Jesus. How long will she stay? Engines are cut out. Starved of fuel. Oh, you gotta love that, right? Rogue Wolf, thank you for the follow. Where's Picard when you need him? I don't know, I turned off everything the other day and then it worked. And then it didn't work. Uh-oh, we've all sorts of trouble here. So look at this big E just... See, some of them are working. ECB or ECU failed. Can we reset those? Who's in charge? You haven't a clue what you're doing. There's a good chance now, lads, I'm after breaking the plane completely. Let's return it back. Select the failed ECU to fix. Select the failed ECU to fix. Hang on. Where did we find that one, Tommy? You drive the fuel pumps and it's complaining. One of them came back. Give it a sec. Flown like a rental. But come here, right? I mean, that's what you want in an aircraft. You want something that'll kill you if you don't behave. You know what I mean? Murph, I have a number for you to call. Yeah, do that for the right ECU as well. As in the ECU test. Aha! Gotcha. Right, that's how we fixed the thing. Brilliant. Isn't it class, lads? Look at the animation. It's just stunning. It's just gorgeous. Oh, hang on. We want this wing to come alive. Come on, Betsy, you can do it. Get that speed up. Come on, you can do it. We need a start. Nearly. Oh, Jesus, we're running out of altitude here, lads. Nearly. Uh-oh. Don't worry, lads. We've got this. We're not in trouble at all. The engine's flooded? This is going to be hilarious. You're scaring the cows? By feathering it again after not letting it fully unfeather. You can also dry out the propeller. No way! Is that what's wrong there, I wonder? See the way, like... Is that the wind? It is. It must be the wind trying to turn it, isn't it? There she is. How cool is that? It's friggin' brilliant. Let's look at the old gear animation. What's my speed? Yeah, bring her down there. Let's have a look at the animations, lads, right? For the landing gear. We ready? Very smooth. Beautiful, beautiful. Right, where's the airport? It's over here, isn't it? Oh, yes. Isn't that a sight? Isn't that gorgeous, lads? Look at that. It's just a nice place to sit. So pretty. And hillside. Aviation is so much more than the 1,000,001 Sunday expenses, alright? The compression physics also depend on your altitude. It'll restart easier higher up due to less air density. Nice.
Check gear.
Grab your parachute, absolutely. Right, we'll bring it in this way. Land it the opposite direction just to see what's going to happen here. So it's an upcoming aircraft. It's not yet released, but I hope what you've seen so far, it can be flown by a complete and utter idiot. So when when you look at the feature list of this aircraft, don't let that scare you away from it, because it's still relatively easy to pick up and go flying in it. I think the biggest thing about this yoke is it's so detailed, if you like, under the hood. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and it hand flies beautifully. I mean, you're rarely going to want to use the autopilot here. You want to use this thing flying low and relatively slow. It'll be kind of fast, actually, 120 knots of that. But it hand flies so well. It's so responsive. Right, can we get a very fancy landing to make it look like I have some sort of an idea what I'm doing? Easy. 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 56, we'll take it all the way to the bank. The brakes. Stops pretty quick. So there we have it, lads. Creator of Worlds Diamond DA42-VI. It's coming soon to the sim, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. We don't have a release date, we don't have a price, but I hope from what you've seen so far, you're like, yep, it's nice. Let's see some compression on the wheels, jamming the brakes. Haven't we, like, hang on. We're going to jam the brakes here now, right? Jesus! Love what we've seen so far. Nice. DA50. Oh, could you imagine? This is Hobart in Australia, Viper. It's on my list. I've seen many of these in Edmonton, so super tie. Nice. The DA42-VI. Demore 42. Isn't it nice? So I want to say a massive thank you to Mr. Tommy. He's here in the chat, the lead developer behind this aircraft. Phenomenal work so far, guys. It's you know, this is your first release in Microsoft Flight Sim. This is exciting, to say the least. So thank you very much indeed for letting me showcase it. To everyone who likes general aviation, well, we are really getting spoiled here, lads, aren't we? I mean, look at the last couple of months of aircraft, and look now what's on the horizon, this being one of them. Incredible, incredible stuff. Tommy, while I have you, just on the avionics, are you guys going to do some of your own work to the G1000s? Please remember for the VR user, the right click to zoom. Ooh, good idea. Look at the reflections. Yeah, it's a stunning model. Stunning. They'll do that later. Okay, sweet, sweet. Right, well then, once I get a bit more news on this, lads, I'm more than happy to show it off again. Look at the state of the friggin' textures, like, it's gorgeous. It's just stunning. Look at the strobes, look. Look at the detailing. Very, 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 very nice. And then even the trim tabs move. Actually, can we zoom in down now to give you a good idea of the old trim tab? We can. So, there's the, oh, Jesus. There's the elevator. Easy, Murph. Easy, easy. Right, so let's see, can we get that working? Bum, bum, bum. It's taking its time. Let's see, can we use another switch? You see the whole trim tab moving? Right now, why is the whole elevator moving? Shouldn't that be just a trim at the back now? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, fan-friggin-tastic. Well done, cows. Great stuff, lads. Great stuff. Same with the rudder trim when you have the airspeed. Aha. Gotcha. Gotcha. It needs a wash, Murph, doesn't it? Nice pedo tube. Yeah, right. Right, moving on. We've one other aircraft to show you for this evening, lads. And we'll let the sim do its thing loading up. But Mr. Tommy, thank you very, very much indeed for letting us show this one off, dude. It's an exciting project. Cannot wait for folks to fly it. But, you know, without going into the depths of a full review, I can tell you it is one of the nicest hand-flying airplanes I've flown in the sim. One of the nicest. It's beautiful. It responds well. It's just stunning. Right? Well done. Right, now, we're going to a gadget called a Stearman. So, as I said, there's a couple of different variants of this. The A75, the PT13, and a PT17. PT17 is probably closer to what we're used to when it came to DC Design's version, right? So I'm going to go with the 75 PT7, PT17. And it comes with quite a few liveries, which is great for this aircraft as well. So I'm going to put it in the old cadet colours here of the Royal Canadian Air Force, right? So we're going to check out now the Boeing Stearman, all right? So let's go in here and have a gawk and see what this one is all about. So the Stearman, there's actually a manual for this thing here for Bring It Up. It's basic, but it tells you enough of what's going on, right? Come hither now, me manual, right? We get me chat back on the screen. Just while this is loading, just want to welcome everybody in. If you're first time here, I've just bashed me finger. Ah, Jesus, medic! If it's your first time here, you're very welcome aboard. Live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 2000 Zulu. Every Wednesday we cover the news, where we get to catch up with what's happening in the flight sim community, and of course we get to check out some awesome add-ons, and it's fun. So if you are new here, do be sure to press the button that says that one. All right, ah, Jesus, skills, lads, skills. And of course, if you're here on Twitch, do be sure to hit the follow button as well. I really do appreciate it. So here we go, looking at a plane. Where's my mouse? I found it. Now it's night time. We'll make it daytime. Ah, yes. And we'll maneuver this controller. Oh, Jesus, what if it... I don't even know what it did. Right. Well, shh. Well, now, grand. Right, yeah, that's super. Super. Right, so we'll leave a little plane sitting here and we'll have a little talk about it before we get going. Is that okay? Murph, version 1.1 got an update released a little while ago. Ah, thank you, Colonel Fork. Okay, sweet. Now, Golden Age Simulations, that's the name of the developer behind this aircraft, and they have released the Boeing Stearman, the models of the PT17, 13, N2S, 3-5, and the A75 L300. I'll show you the manual. For use with flight simulation only. So cover page, table of contents, general information, so on and so forth. A bit of background to the aircraft, its operational history, the variants that are included, the variants that were built in total, characteristics about the aircraft itself, its power plant, fuel, oil, controls, operational equipment, the controls, fuel tank gauge of how to refuel it. We'll go through all of this now once we're doing the gadget, right? Crop duster, yeah, a lot of them. Ali flew in one of these. Lightworks, good to see it. The Utterly Butterly. Dan, yeah, they're the ones, I think, yeah. I remember those. Were they Stearmans or were they Wacos? Unsure. Start crank handle for refueling. It's all animated. I'll show you all this. Fuel valve, parking brake, control surface lock, mixture, carb, propeller pitch, which is only in the most recent variant, I believe. Fire extinguishers, and then the aircraft, and then you have a couple of checklists and pilot operating procedures. Okay, nice. So there's enough there to keep us going. So let's have a look at the aircraft itself. Well, from the externals, lads, this is priced at, what did I pay for this? Was it around €18? About 18 quid, right? Not going to break the bank. But straight away we know in terms of features, DC Designs have done a very good Stearman. There's no doubt about it. But this one seems to have a lot more features going for it. So on the visuals, on the outside, well, it's nice. It's pretty. It looks fairly clean, which is a bit of a, I won't say it's a bit of a problem, because if you had this aircraft today, you would probably be keeping it spotless because, well, it is a vintage aircraft. The engine looks pretty nice. Not the highest of detail, like when you're coming down here. It's not the highest of detail, but it's still pretty nice. Right? It's like there's a scaling issue or something there. But, like, it looks pretty nice. Don't know what the crack was there. But overall, I mean, the cylinders and all that, they look the job, don't they? The prop is okay as well. It seems to be just missing some kind of texturing. That's kind of, do you know? Quick result resulted in being a Stearman. There you go. It was a Stearman. Nice, okay. So the texture work, it's not great. Straight off the bat, the texturing here is not great. I mean, you have, that's supposed to be wear and tear or scuff marks or something. It's crap, right? It's non-existent. And then the modeling, there's a bit of rough kind of edges here with the 3D model. Just, it's a little bit rough in places, right? There's kind of gaps there. There shouldn't be gaps. Everything doesn't sit in the way it should do. And, well, you'll see now in a moment, that's kind of continued on into the cockpit. Textures aren't too bad. You know, from a distance, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Up close and personal, yeah, it's a little bit ouch. But I mean, like, come on, you're never going to get that up close. Do you know what I mean? Oh, come here. Do you see that, right? That's supposed to be like a brick or a weight. I got home from work this evening and I saw something like that on my lawn. And I was positive it was like foam board. You know, like insulation foam. I was so convinced. Did you ever see the Lord of the... Muse fan, do you remember in Lord of the Rings, right? And your man, Aragorn, son of Arathon, or Arathon, do you remember when he went to kick the helmet? Muse fan will know that. Do you remember when he went to kick the helmet? And he burst his toe. He actually broke his toe live during the recording. Well, anyway, I came across something that looked a bit like that in me front garden. And I said, Jesus, there's a bit of foam. I must kick that out of the way. Wasn't foam at all. It was brick. It was brick. I hockeyed me foot. Put it this way. The roar was heard throughout the realm, right? People sitting down to have their dinner said, oh, Jesus, what was that? Right? Anyway, so that's what it looked like. Funny how these things only happen to me. Moving on. The detail at the tail wheel. And I'm a little bit lost for words here because I'm unsure exactly what that texture is supposed to be. Is it an intestine or is it supposed to be wood? From a distance, it actually looks quite nice. But very, very close, no, it doesn't, right? Look before you kick. It was right. Anyway, there are some nice details, however, on the aircraft. Not very high resolution. And when I start seeing textures like this, right, I'm kind of thinking FSX? Not even P3D, I'm thinking FSX. So I don't know, is that where the model started off its life? I'm unsure, lads, but when I see stuff like that, I'm thinking, hang on. But anyway, looks don't account for everything. What? Who said that? What are you trying to say? Who asked you? But they don't. From a distance, it looks beautiful. There is no doubt. It's only when you get very up close to it, you're kind of thinking, So it's fine, right? It's fine. There's no showcase cameras. That's a pity. Remember saying, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Developers do forget about putting showcase cameras in. It's a missed opportunity because you can actually like force the viewer to be looking at the aircraft the way you want them to. It can be very powerful. If you put the right angle in as you're flying along, it makes it look better. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let us jump into the cockpit. Yes, okay. Right, bit of detail here. Yes, not so bad. We'll start off on the left side. And we have some issues straight away. Some of the cables and pulleys for the flight control surfaces, well, they disappear into nothingness. Like, nothingness. Where's that friggin' cable going off me rudder? It's literally not connected to anything. Now, notwithstanding, there has been a patch already to this aircraft. I'm unsure if these have been fixed. Is this a deal breaker? Is it going to stop you from enjoying the add-on? No, but just be aware that's where it's at. It gives me the impression that this thing isn't finished. But anyway, we continue on. Elevator tab. Okay, that's all handy here. That works. Yes, we can see the wheel in behind. Lovely. Our engine controls. We have throttle. We have mixture. They all work well. And yeah, there's a bit of animation here. We can see the bits and bobs moving. Very nice. We have a controls lock. So this should, in theory, lock the controls. That's now locked. That works. That's now unlocked. Okay, very good. Moving across, we have our exterior temperature. So your outside air temperature in degrees Celsius. Is that right? 85 Fahrenheit. 85 is about 20. Let's go 74. Did it change? Yeah. All right. Okay. It works. Fuel shut-off valve. On or off. Your mag switches. They all work. There's some nice engine limitation details here. Again, some of the 3D modeling, like there's stuff just going into places that shouldn't be going into places. This here looks to be like the exterior model coming true. Right? Like, what? That shouldn't be there, but however it is. There's things here, look. I'm not impressed. There's things here. Look at these. Are these like texturing stuff? And like the textures here? Right? A little bit lost for words because like, why did you do that, developer? Like, this is the stuff you clean. Don't leave stuff like where we have to look. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, we move on. Visually, it's only okay, right? Especially like look at this. Look at the texture on the seat, right? And then look at the seat belt, which are 3D, but there's no texturing here, right? The data case. This is for the modern aircraft. The data case features a radio nav, but look at look at this. They didn't even texture the friggin' transponder look. It's untextured. Oh yeah, we forgot that. So that's a bit of a right? Tommy, more than welcome, my dude. More than welcome. Okay, we can get beyond that. Over this side then, we have some circuit breakers. Brilliant. But they're not modelled. Fair enough. However, we have a tail wheel lock. That works. We have a battery switch, generator, and nav lights, and then we have internal lights, and then we have our parking brake located there. Okay, sweet. We also have the front seat. And again, it's pretty much what you see in the back. However, there is something kind of weird with these red and blue wires. They're very kind of... They don't really fit, do they? I know that's what the battery is, but I don't know. The colour is just wrong, or it's missing a texture. I don't know what it is. But it is what it is. We do have an EFB. This is nice. Cockpit cover. Dish. Ooh. Nice. It's a nice touch, right? I like all these sort of toys. Peter tube, tie downs, yes. Control lock, refueling. So get rid of the cover. Let's get the refueling in there. And it'll actually put in a static element of a fuel tank, which we can see down there. Now, if we navigate to this little divot, we're going to find now there's a click spot on them, right? Check this out. There's no sounds, but that's now refueling the aircraft. That's kind of pretty. And by staying in this view, well, we can open up our baggage compartment. This is where your cover and all your ground stuff go, right? Access to the fire extinguisher. You can actually click on that. Ah, there it is. Brilliant. That works really well. That's a nice feature. And I like the way you can click on stuff outside the aircraft without having going into any kind of weird views. So the features here are actually very promising, right? So if we disappear the old fuel gadget, let's pretend we should be fueled. Pitot cover, refueling, get rid of. Pitot cover, we should be able to manually remove that, which we can. And, well, we can hide the EFB. Next page, just cold and dark options. So let me see. Wheel chocks, remove those, put in our pilot, and disappear the tablet. If you need to reappear the tablet and you're thinking, no, where's it? It's here. Press on the little card, and then your tablet reappears, right? Handy. Okay. What do we want to do here? So we're going to turn on our fuel. We're going to open our mixer, open the throttle. Trims, leave them alone here for the moment. Mags are going to go to both. Right hand side, we're going to turn on the battery. With the generator on, get our nav lights on. That's all I need here for the moment. I can press this button that's going to align the propeller for me. I can do it here either. Where's the... There we go. That's going to align the propeller. Now, for us to start this machine, we have to come alongside here, look, right? And, well, what we're going to do, we need to prime it, right? So we have a little primer here. Then, that shouldn't have that sound. Then, did you hear that? Yeah, it shouldn't do that. But anyway, that's a click spot issue. Stop spinning. We need to put, we're going to prime the engine, right? So we're going to unlock that. And we give it a little prime. Right? Close that. Now we're going to energize the engine. So we're going to spin the bejesus out of it and then we'll hit the start. Right? I got more enjoyment finding this than the other one with DC. Well, there you go. Right. Disappear you. And let's go for a start. And have a listen to the start, right? Because she'll crank up. So I can tell you straight away, the developers after including 2 sound files for the startup, because you can hear the thing going, but then the main audio is playing first. That's an easy fix. So if you think the sounds aren't great, they're actually all right. But he just has 2 files going at the same time. Right, we're finished with out here. So that's a nice feature, right? You can actually go out to the front, start her up. Brilliant, right? Brilliant. So we'll meander our way back in. Get into our seat there now. Oh, Jesus. Wait, I didn't close this. You can't go flying with that open, Murph. Right, now, here we go. Ah, Jesus, brilliant. We're going to a little cockpit area here. Grand, okay. So inside, aircraft ticking over. You do have this heat blur coming off the exhaust. It's very pretty. However, he just needs to adjust it ever so slightly because it seems to be just a small gap and that's where you're getting this weird reflective line. It's a very small fix. It's not a big to do. Now, let us have a look. The instrument shaking is pretty. Increase a bit of power here. They should calm down a little bit. External sounds. Let's have a listen, right? So we'll leave it on idle at the moment. And we'll just give this a listen and see what you think about the sounds, right? Okay, they're not terrible. They're okay. Right, okay, so parking brakes are going to come off. And let's start taxiing this biddy out. So it's controlling on the ground. You can use toe brakes if your tail wheel lock, or you can disengage your tail wheel lock, and then you can just control it on the ground. It's actually very easy to taxi, which is ideal because, I mean, these things were designed to be a trainer. And I think the developer has actually captured that quite well in terms of being a flight simulation add-on that could be used as a trainer. It's relatively easy to fly, and that's a good thing. It's just a good thing. So I don't need a whole lot of runway with this thing, but we are going to taxi out. And again, like, she's not a bad looking machine, like. Oh, Jesus, don't go too fast and tip it over. From a distance, it's a beautiful little plane. The Stearman, by its, like, the aircraft itself, even the real world counterpart, they're a gorgeous airplane. Stunning. I just want to load this up and pretend I'm Randy Quaid for a few hours. Don't forget your scarf. Jesus, Murphy, what sort of driving is that? Like, once you're not zoomed in completely, it's a beautiful little plane, this. There's a couple of updates I'd like to see the developer do with the textures, only because they're actually fairly straightforward to fix. And I think they kind of take away from the add-on in general by not having those little things fixed. Do you know what I mean? So, look it. It's a pretty little plane, this. Have a little mirror up there. We can see our fuel gauge there. So flying the aircraft, this is our next little trick. Now we've no flaps in this biplane. In fact, I'd say you'd rarely get flaps in a biplane. But we should get, we've two wings, like, so I'm not worried about lift. So got ourselves lined up here. Put on a bit of Toby I. Hello, Toby I. And let's see what we can do here. Are we ready? Power coming in. $40 miles an hour. Yepsy daisy. So there's no real kind of... She doesn't lean to either side on taxi. It's actually very stable. Which I don't know, is that by design or... I don't know what, but... Flying an airplane, getting it off the ground and making it easy to do so, it's ideal for training, you know, focusing more on, you know, flying the thing in the air. It's a beautiful plane to be in. We're just going to gain a little bit of altitude here. Give ourselves a small bit of trim just to relax the controls. Power's good. It's just pretty. Okay, so what about handling, right? So let's give it a couple of turns here to see. Very stable. It handles nicely. It's a very calm aircraft. It's a very kind of relaxed aircraft. And if that's your thing, that's what you want, right? Patrick Doyle, good to see it. Looks almost too stable, like if you kick the rudder, will it bank as a secondary effect? So here's the rudder input. That's not bad. What about if we put it under pressure here a little bit, right? We're going into a climb. Kill the power. And let's see what happens with a stall. Okay. Fairly straightforward. Try it again. Hold the nose, hold the nose, hold the nose. Okay. Hey, Mariner Halley, good to see you. Okay, can we get a spin out of it? A little bit. Jesus, yeah, a little bit. Not mad in the old stall characteristics, though. Hold the nose, hold the nose, hold the nose. it feels a little bit stable. But just generally kind of flying the thing around, I noticed the engine response is quite slow. So that's something you'd want to keep an eye on when you're flying it. So we're at about roughly 75% power. You can see your oil temperature rising here, so all your dials are working. Manifold pressure, that doesn't seem right. Like, I now have it on full power. Yeah, I'm only getting 20 inches of friggin' manifold pressure. That doesn't seem right to me. Unless I'm doing something very wrong. I don't think so. I have to imagine these things being pretty stable. Yeah, yeah. Solo from rear seat only. Just the manifold pressure doesn't add up to me. I would have thought we'd have more. Like, if it's indicating up to 60, but like we're not going above 18, and like, okay, RPM, it kind of fizzles out at around what, 2100, but we can't exceed that. Now if we put it into a dive, that's pushing more air, so let's see what happens. So RPM is definitely rising. Manifold pressure doesn't change though. Nearly 2400 on the RPM now. Maximum airspeed 150 miles an hour. And from an aerobatics perspective, well, let's try a roll. Very nice. It just feels stable, do you know what I mean? It just feels stable. Feels a bit like it's on the rails. I wouldn't say rails. Let's try a loop. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say it's on rails, because I mean, it is stable, but you know, I mean, it's not like it's on autopilot, if you know what I mean. And like, if you want to throw in an L slip here and there just to see how it reacts, I suppose it might be a little bit calm. But like, looking at the rudder deflection, you don't get a whole lot from it. You know what I mean? Like, it's agile where it needs to be, but it's also quite, I don't know, dignified, I suppose. Be interesting to see what the update was like there this evening. It sounds great, listen. It's a nice little vintage cruiser. I mean, that's kind of what you're at. And from a training aircraft, I mean, what better way to introduce you to flying by having something that kind of holds your hand? It's quite stable. I don't see that as a negative. I see it as a positive. Do you know? A couple of changes I'd like to see, mainly around the visuals. You know, I think you're going to enjoy this airplane. If you don't already have the Stearman from DC Designs, which it's a different category of the Stearman. There would definitely seem to be more, I don't know, passion, is that a word? Or, you know, there seems to be more interest, if you like, into the nuances of this aircraft. In particular where, you know, all the click spots are, all the static elements. They're nice to see. This aircraft has that. But does it jump out as being an add-on you want to rush to buy? Does it have anything new in it? Not really. If you really like the vintage stuff, you know, if you want to have, dare I say, a better Stearman, yeah, it's going to be on your list. It just will. But like, when you compare what we flew prior to this versus this, very, very different add-ons aimed at different markets even. But you know, I really think if you get this, you're going to enjoy it. Because it's the flying element. It's remnant a bit of the black box simulation aircraft. Like when the L-19 first came out, I mean, it looked rough, didn't sound 100%, but man, it was so fun to fly. I think you're going to get the same experience with this. I mean, it looks gorgeous, look. Check it out, lads. Stunning. I just noticed a thing. A visual effect. We have a flame coming out of it. Ah, brilliant! I didn't know that was there, lads. There's a bit of flaming action. And it seems to react to what you're doing with the engine. Look. Let's go to this view. Now punch it. Let's see what happens here. Will we get the flame? We do! Ah, brilliant! Looks like you hit a plastic bag. Me or the plane, Hammy? Right. Oh Jesus, it doesn't like night lighting at all. Oh holy moly, it doesn't like that. Put on your headlight. Turn on your instrument lights. That's better. Yeah, it didn't like the night lighting at all, lads, did it? Good to see you, Hammy. How are you, man? Right, so that's going to do us, lads. The Boeing PT Stearman. Let's see, can we land the thing, you know, without being in a loop? It's being worked on. The paint seems a bit off. Well, it does come with a number of different liveries, which is always nice. The sounds, I don't know where the sounds are at. They don't sound like WYs, but I mean, who knows, right? It's very, very stable. And like, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you want to learn how to fly a plane, oof. Jeez, we hit that hard. You know, if you want to learn, or if you want to spend a bit of time in the sim without the worry of, you know, P factor and all this sort of jazz, yeah. Pretty. KG Dog, good to see you, man. So, what are the sounds like if you cut the mixture? Not bad, not bad. It's not bad, lads. And again, like the purpose of showing this stuff off, in particular this, because it's released, well, hopefully it gives you a bit of information if you want to pick it up or not. It could be the case of, no, Murph.
Hello there.
Hello there. It could be the case of, no, I'm going to wait a while. Or, yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm going to get enjoyment out of it. Let's go fly. And that's the objective here. I mean, I don't know this developer. I'm not selling it. It's to show you. And like, I try and give the best feedback I can give. I mean, if I like it, if I didn't like it, I'd say, no, it's crap. I do like it. But there's a lot of room to improve. A lot of room to improve. You know? But it flies nice. You know, it's simple. You don't need to worry about consequence. It's just going for an L ramble. Then it comes down to the price and the fact that it's payware. Now we have an interesting discussion because it's still in and around 20 bucks. Eesh. Like, what's the DC Design Stearman going for this day? DC Design Stearman. Just Flight, you can pick that up for $12.95. $12.95 versus, I think this was 18. I'm almost certain. I'm almost certain. Who's the developer again? Right now. Golden Age Simulations. Golden Age Simulation Stearman. 18, I think, is it? Now, has he actually put it in? Ah, here we go. This gives me every bit of answers that I needed. This aircraft was once released back in FSX. So it's a port. And don't anyone tell me it's not a port. It's a port. High quality, fully animated 3D models. So it's from FSX, right? Because that's their website. If I want to buy it, shop. Is it even listed on it? Sort by latest. Some really interesting planes here. Do you know who the developer reminds me of? You know the you know the dude who brought out like the not the Sterling. What was the other one called? What was the Wings of Flight or Fancy or something like that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Golden Age Simulations launched the Stearman. This Stearman is priced at... Wait, hang on. No. Where the hell is it? Golden Age Stearman. Microsoft Flight Sim. Ha. This one is priced at $18.50. $6 more expensive than DC Designs. Huh. Entirely up to the buyer, I suppose. There's definitely more features on this. There's more features. You know. But it looks to be reminiscent very much of its FSX days. Or at least that's what it looks like. But anyway. Now, let me see. It's not $20. Not paying $20 for that. No, $18.50. $18.50. So it's around $20. So $18.50. Okay. We won't argue over $1.50. What do you guys think? I'm imagining a good captain's Stearman that would look great, but they'd use the Asobo A320 flight model. What do you think? I mean, it's any old port in a storm, don't you? Bargain says now it's, or sorry, Bargain says now it's 18. It'll be 22 after a week. Ooh. Think away from improvements, says Dougal. Yeah, like anyone who loves vintage aircraft, I mean, you look at a Stearman and you smile. It's like, look at that. Do you know? And as I said, you'll get enjoyment out of it. It's not like, oh, it's crap. It's not crap. Like, it's not crap. It just needs a bit of work, you know? Did I check out the flyby sounds? No. But I can. Let's see what happens here. Ah, Jesus. Right, don't mind any of this for the moment. I'm a trained agent, so don't worry. They're not terrible. They're not terrible. So yeah, it has flyby sounds, right? What have the Romans done for us? Murph, on multiplayer, if you want to test multiplayer sounds, same airport, Colonel Fork. Because this is important. Because we all hate the dreaded multiplayer sound bug. Let's hope this loads in correctly. Do-do-do-do-do. Tis on. Southeast Asian server, Colonel Fork. Give it a second. Give it a second. Yep, and yep. Okay, cool. Okay, 1 second there now, lads. Poicard, or Picari, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Welcome in, man. Welcome in. There's no sign of you. Problem is definitely on my side. Multiplayer off. Multiplayer on. Colonel Fork, will you invite me to an L group or something? We checked out the cows DA42 a little while ago, my dude. Now let's see. Invite to session. Invite to group. Uh-oh. That may not have worked, Colonel Fork. Group invitation sent. Let's see what happens, right? And we'll have a quick gawk at this before we call it a night. So, let me know, lads, while we're waiting. What was your favourite bit of news tonight? Or maybe it was the add-ons that we had a look. Colonel Fork joined me group. Ah, brilliant! We just need to find him now. He's out there somewhere. Somewhere, flying along. Whereabouts are you, Colonel Fork? It says you joined me group, yet you're not showing up. The lovely Kaharia is here. Hello, Kaharia. Happy Wednesday. DA42 is the highlight. Yeah, DA42 looks sweet, doesn't it? It looks, sounds, and flies brilliantly. Why 3 o'clock? Ah! Scene! Brilliant. Man, Colonel Fork. Right, hang on. We'll make this easy. I say easy. I'm going to reduce my speed if you want to form up. There is a wild Colonel Fork approaching. Malton Aviation, hello from Spain. Good to see you, man. Colonel Fork is flying in a different variant. I love that. He's in the US Air Force colours. Look at that. Right, Colonel Fork, do us a favour. Will you fly ahead of me and I'll form up on you? Because that way I can get closer to sounds and stuff. So if you want to go ahead. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Aren't they lovely looking planes though, aren't they? I tell you this much, lads. Because these aircraft are so stable, ideal for practice and formation. Ideal. Okay, let's see what we can do. Airspeed approaching 100. We can get closer than that. Yeah, there's no sound bug from the from multiplayer. That's a good sign. Your pilot doesn't show up though. It's an autonomous airplane. But that's quite okay. Great little machine for formation flying. Look at that, that's cool looking. Get in there a little bit tighter. Now, Colonel Fork. No sudden movements. Take it fierce Andy now, right? Fierce Andy. That's awesome. Beautiful. Thank you very much indeed, Colonel Fork. Yeah, there's no sound bug. That's just a bonus. But I'm not sure are they using the I'm not sure are they using WI sounds. Do you know what I mean? Pass the Grey Poupon. Have you any Grey Poupon? Yeah. No, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. How many planes does it take for the sound bug to trigger? It depends, Sterling, but like some planes just one. Just, you know, some of them it just happens once. But look, there you have it, right? There's a new Stearman in town. I mean, you'll either like it or you won't. That's the best way to kind of describe who and what it is. And, yeah. Look at the state of the scenery. Jesus. Hobart, you gotta love it. Down here in Taz. But anyway, that is going to conclude the festivities for tonight. I do hope you've enjoyed and you've been informed of the news and a couple of add-ons we got to check out. I want to thank you also very much indeed for joining me tonight. Big shout out to our moderators. I can't believe they made me show the stupid alert mode thingy earlier on. Thanks, lads. And, well, to everyone here for tuning in, thanks a million. We're back to you on Friday night. We have a group flight coming up with the FS Reborn FSR 500. Really looking forward to that. We have a giveaway happening on Friday night as well. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock, 2000 Zulu time. And, yeah, that's it. You'll find me on Discord. I hang out in Discord all the time. I'll be there, you know, saying hello to people and having the crack. So, well, until the next time, thank you very much indeed and have a very pleasant evening. We'll see you on Friday. Loading clips? Let's try that again to see does it load. One man. One plane. One parachute. And one chance. Right, I think we're lining it up here now, lads. We're lining it up. We need to pull the thing with the yoke. Are we ready? When all else fails, Murphy resorts to the hot tub.